Chapter 2901. At this moment, Chen Shang was the same as her, filled with curiosity. Why did the high priest know they were here? Why did she come so quickly? Chen Shang was very sure that he had cut off the connection between the dragon devil grandmother and the high priest, but he didn't expect that the high priest would still be able to catch up to him. Does the high priest have any other methods to track him? Chen Shang asked. He was also thinking of a way to escape. Using invisibility won't work. The high priest was able to catch up from the third platform and determine their exact location. Clearly, he knows where they are. No matter how he thought about it, the only thing he could do was to escape. The high priest was extremely powerful. Forget about Long Chiumu. Even Long Chiumu's father was not a match for the high priest, so right now, Long Chiumu could only madly run for his life. He has my pearl of life in his hand. Perhaps, he is trying to sense my location through this pearl of life. I had forgotten about it before. Long Chiumu scolded in a low voice, it's all because of this bastard. At that time, he insisted on taking our pearl of life and had no choice but to give it to him. I never thought that he would be able to use the pearl of life to track my location. Chen Shang asked, is there no way to get rid of his tracking method? Long Chiumu frowned. I do, but it will take some time, it's too late now. It was really too late now. Chen Shang could already see that there was another big ball of red light behind him. Just as Chen Shang saw this ball of red light, the ball of red light suddenly exploded, and in the blink of an eye, countless little red lights exploded towards him like rain. If the red ball of light landed on the ground, it would create a huge crater, which contained a very terrifying power. When rushing over, Chen Shang anxiously took out his 6 realms mirrors to block. However, the violent explosion that was produced sent him and Long Chiumu flying. After they were sent flying, the huge red light ball exploded once again. This time, the light ball was even larger and fell towards Chen Shang and the rest, like countless huge meteors descending, bringing with it a burst of oppressive qi. You go! Long Chiumu grabbed Chen Shang and struck his chest with force, sending him flying. Chen Shang never thought that Long Chiumu would actually send him off so decisively. As he flew back, he saw a white light flash on Long Chiumu's body as he charged towards the high priest. Instantly, the 2 huge red and white masses of light clashed together, and 2 sets of red and white huge waves of qi exploded out, as though a gigantic dome covered the ground. The impact from the collision caused everything in the area to be razed to the ground, while Chen Shang was also severely injured by the strong wave of qi. After Chen Shang landed on the ground, he immediately used counter power to conceal himself. In the 4th Flying Dragon experience place, he had already been under a huge amount of pressure, and now that he was injured, he simply could not move at all. Fortunately, he was able to make himself invisible in time. As he lay on the ground, he saw a red-faced old man flying over from the sky. It was the high priest. Then what about Long Chiumu? Chen Shang was very worried in his heart. At this time, Long Chiumu was also considered his friend. Even though he was a dragon demon, he was a very good person. Right now, Long Chiumu's life and death was unclear, and he was powerless to find out, so his heart was very sad. That damned high priest! Chen Shang looked at the high priest who was walking away, his heart filled with resentment. Chen Shang told Flying Dragon Palace leader what happened just now. Right now, he could only tell Flying Dragon Palace leader everything. After the Flying Dragon Palace leader heard this, he said, right now, you have to stabilize your own situation. That Dragon Devil Princess is still the daughter of the Dragon Demon Lord, and now that the whereabouts of Dragon Demon Grandmother is unknown, he will definitely not kill Long Chiumu. At most, he will just imprison her. Quote. So you must become stronger as soon as possible. Only by doing so can you defeat the High Priest, otherwise the Dragon Devil Princess will suffer a lot. The most important person to the High Priest was the Dragon Demon Grandmother. After he captured Long Chiumu and brought him back, if he couldn't find the Dragon Demon Grandmother, he wouldn't let her go easily. At the same time, he wouldn't kill Long Chiumu because the key to finding the Dragon Demon Grandmother was Long Chiumu. Alright, when my injuries recover, I'll start cultivating. When Chen Shang came to the Flying Dragon experience place, he did not cultivate properly since he had encountered so many things. That's right. When facing a powerful fellow like the High Priest, you can only negotiate with him by relying on your own strength. Otherwise, you'll just be walking into a trap looking for him. The Flying Dragon Palace leader encouraged him. Chen Zhang's life force meridian started to release an endless amount of power to repair his injured body. The current Chen Shang still had to overcome the pressure here, but the pressure of the fourth flying dragon experience place was too strong. With his current strength, he was unable to stand up. After a month, Chen Zhang's injuries had already completely recovered. He laid on the ground, channeled his energy to absorb the energy here, and at the same time, used the heavenly alchemy to refine the energy he absorbed from the divine sense sea. The energy of the flying dragon experience place could help people cultivate the myriad Tao's golden body. It could also help the myriad Tao's golden body become stronger, allowing the six souls to become stronger. This way, it could constantly increase its strength. And now, Chen Shang was treating the divine sense sea as a pill furnace, refining this kind of energy that was absorbed by him. Because of his special body, he was able to quickly absorb the energy. He gathered the large amount of energy he absorbed and used the heavenly alchemy to refine it. He gathered this energy to form a huge ball of energy and then divided the ball of energy into 8 balls to further refine them using the crash method. His 6 souls was the 6 heavenly beasts, and these 6 heavenly beasts were currently surrounding the place he was refining his energy. When he was about to collide with it, the outburst of extremely strong energy would automatically be absorbed by his 6 souls. One must know that the outburst of energy was even more intense than the outburst of the 6 souls. After the collision, the power of the myriad Tao had become stronger. He channeled this power into his body, tempering his body, allowing his own myriad Tao's golden body to become stronger. In this way, he would be able to cultivate the myriad Tao's golden body while cultivating the 6 souls. After the crash method, the power of the myriad Tao has increased by a lot. I am only going to use the first crash, so I have to increase the next level of the crash. In order to become stronger quickly, Chen Shang did not care about the risks that this method brought, because refining such a strong power of the myriad Tao was extremely dangerous. If he lost control, it would cause great damage to his divine sense sea world. Not long after, Chen Shang once again gathered a large amount of myriad Tao energy and condensed it into a huge ball of light just like last time. Every time they collided, the resulting shockwave would always be the most violent of myriad Tao's powers. Chen Shang was initially worried that the 6 souls would not be used to absorbing his own energy, but what surprised him was that after absorbing the 6 souls, it would become even stronger and more powerful. Chapter 2902. Chen Shang could only execute 3 crashes right now. If he continued, his divine sense sea world would not be able to take it anymore. Refining the power of the myriad Tao once would take more than a month, and he would only be able to increase a little at a time. He was now at the middle stage of the Taizun realm. It would only take him a day or 2 to break through, and many people who used thousands or even tens of thousands of years to break through might not be able to do so. Chen Shang was aware of this point. He also knew that if he continued to force himself to quickly break through, it would cause great harm to himself. Right now, Chen Shang could only maintain his calmness and patience, allowing himself to steadily improve. In the blink of an eye, 2 years had passed. At this moment, he was already able to stand up and barely walk slowly. It took him 2 years to step into the late period of Taizun realm. To be able to stand up with such a cultivation, that was pretty good. Flying Dragon Palace leader had already said that many of the late period of Taizun realms could not even stand up, and could only barely run in the early stages of the Venerable Ancestor realm. Only people like the High Priest who were at the peak of the Venerable Ancestor later stage could fly. Even though Long Chiumu was a Venerable Ancestor realm, she was only around at the early to middle stages. The peak of the late stage was the strongest, so she was basically unable to defeat the High Priest. Only by becoming your respected ancestor can I barely resist the High Priest. I don't even know where he took Long Chiumu to. Chen Shang looked at the blue sky and clenched his fists. Running in this place was extremely difficult, but it was also a way of cultivation, as it could make his myriad Tao's golden body even stronger. Chen Shang kept on running, and when he was tired, he would lie down and absorb the endless energy of the myriad Tao. After he recovered, he would stand up and continue running, and run for a year continuously. He already possessed the myriad Tao's golden body, and it was a very powerful and mature golden body, so stepping into the Venerable Ancestor realm required him to cultivate the myriad Tao's golden body. So if he wanted to break through and become a revered ancestor, he only needed to strengthen his 6 souls. His 6 souls was one of the 6 heavenly beasts, and it still looked rather small. If he were to step into the Venerable Ancestor realm, the 6 heavenly beasts would become even stronger. You should be able to try the myriad Tao technique now. Flying Dragon Palace leader suddenly said. If I can help you step into the Venerable Ancestor realm, then you will be a brand new beginning in the Venerable Ancestor realm. What will happen after I cultivate the myriad Tao divine arts? Chen Shang asked. I thought the myriad Tao divine arts was only an auxiliary type of cultivation technique, a technique that uses Tao energy. Of course not, the myriad Tao divine arts are a fusion of the four great divine arts. Although the four great divine arts are all support, the myriad Tao divine arts after being merged isn't so simple. If you were to cultivate it, you will definitely feel the benefits of the myriad Tao divine arts. Of course, you'll have to figure out how to train by yourself. In short, you won't be disappointed. Everyone has their own differences in cultivation of the myriad Tao divine arts. They have comprehended what is most suitable for them. It can be said to be a very spiritual cultivation technique. The Flying Dragon Palace leader paused to let Chen Shang understand what he had just said. Before continuing, I have yet to start cultivating, but I have already tried to understand the myriad Tao's divine arts. If there is anything you do not understand, you can ask me. All right. Chen Shang closed his eyes and started to understand the short yet very obscure chants of the myriad Tao divine arts. These incantations were extremely hard for Chen Shang to comprehend, and he himself had to chew it many times before finally understanding it a little. Although he had already obtained the myriad Tao divine arts, it would not be easy for him to understand and cultivate them. Chen Shang used 2 whole years just to understand this myriad Tao divine technique, but he didn't feel like time was passing by. After comprehending quite a few of the myriad Tao divine arts, he was shocked to discover that the myriad Tao divine arts actually also contained a supreme technique like the usage of space and time. He was already able to use space, and thought that his control of space was extraordinary. However, after understanding the myriad Tao divine arts, he realized that his control of space was only superficial. The use of spatial energy within the myriad Tao divine arts had already reached its ultimate form. Even in many places where spatial energy was restricted, spatial energy could still be used smoothly. For example, in this Flying Dragon experience place, there were many barriers and formations restricting the power of space. The mantra contained in the myriad Tao divine arts also taught people how to use the power of space in a limited place. What followed was the control of time. The most important thing for the god-murdering sword techniques was the control of the power of time. Chen Shang had also previously comprehended the essence of the god-murdering sword techniques, which was to make his own time different from others. This way, others' movements would be slowed down for a period of time while he himself would have to speed up. Taking advantage of this time difference to attack or dodge would make others feel that it was inconceivable. In the myriad Tao divine arts, the use of time energy was the god-murdering sword techniques, while space energy was the 6 realms magic kung fu. Of course, this was only the main point. Besides explaining how to use time, god-murdering sword techniques also had the ability to use fear and death. For example, when the god-killing sword was released, it would cause people to feel fear. Furthermore, other than the 6 realms mirrors' ability to use space, it also had the power of life. This was a very profound realm. Chen Shang was unable to understand it, but he felt that he could still use the power of life to do so. As for the heavenly alchemy, that was the easiest for Chen Shang. He himself had a very deep understanding of the heavenly alchemy, and the main purpose of the heavenly alchemy was to teach others how to use various types of energy to resolve the costs of everything in the myriad Tao. Finally, it was this part of the heavenly spirit kung fu, which allowed one to cultivate a body as strong as the heavens themselves. This was also a very profound aspect that Chen Shang was unable to understand. The myriad Tao divine arts included the 4 great godly arts. Although Chen Shang had all 4 of them, there was no key part of them, and that was the part that combined the 4 great godly techniques, and that was the myriad Tao divine arts. Now that he had obtained the myriad Tao divine technique, as long as he could comprehend the essence of the myriad Tao divine technique, he could use the power-controlling techniques from the 4 great divine arts with ease. If it was before, he would need to learn all 4 techniques at the same time, which was extremely difficult, not to mention being easily distracted. It would also be extremely difficult to learn. As for learning the myriad Tao divine arts, it would suffice as long as one practiced a cultivation technique. After learning the essence, he would be able to master the other 4 techniques immediately. This was all discussed out by Chen Shang and the Flying Dragon Palace leader during the past year. I understand a lot now, so I can try to cultivate it now. Chen Shang closed his eyes and started to absorb the myriad Tao's power. Chapter 2903. Chen Shang followed the method of using the myriad Tao divine arts to absorb the energy of heaven and earth, and watched as the energy of the surrounding myriad Tao suddenly condensed into water droplets and entered his body. Access. To be able to directly condense the formless energy of the myriad Tao into liquid state, even Chen Shang himself was shocked. The myriad Tao's power entered his body, and continuously collided fiercely within his divine sense sea world. After the collision, it merged together, then separated, and then continuously collided. At this time, his divine sense sea world was in a state of constant rumbling. The power of his myriad Tao had already been condensed into a rock. Upon colliding with it, it released a deafening explosion of light. It looked like this was his crash method, but he did not have the ability to use it. It was just that when he was channeling the myriad Tao divine arts, he wanted to increase the power of the myriad Tao that entered his body, so he suddenly comprehended this technique. As they continuously collided, waves of powerful myriad Tao energy were created and absorbed by the six heavenly beasts in the divine sense sea world. Just like that, he continued to circulate the myriad Tao's divine arts. The power of the myriad Tao flowed into his divine sense sea like a great river, and then continued to collide with each other, creating extremely powerful waves of air. This wave of energy surged into his divine sense sea, permeating every part of his body, and then rushed through his entire body. At this moment, both his flesh and the divine sense sea were improving at an extremely fast rate. At this moment, Chen Shang was enjoying this cultivation state very much, because he could feel himself becoming stronger at every moment. In just half a year, he could cultivate under this state. With just a thought, he could enter this state immediately. Right now, he already had other thoughts to understand the usage of the spatial energy inside. The flying platform was greatly restricted, preventing him from using the spatial energy, making him feel that it was not safe. Therefore, he needed to grasp the method to use the spatial energy in this limited situation. This way, the next time he entered the myriad Tao mausoleum, he would not have to worry about not being able to use the power of space and becoming afraid of those strong warriors. In the blink of an eye, 5 years had passed. The six heavenly beasts inside Chen Zhang's divine sense sea were already extremely strong, filled with an extremely strong power, and they all started to cheer within his divine sense sea in a lifelike manner. Along with the simultaneous roar of the six heavenly beasts, an intense light flashed out from his huge body. Chen Shang smoothly stepped into the Venerable Ancestor realm. His tightly clenched fists were trembling. The moment he broke through, a berserk power continuously surged out. Ah! Chen Shang roared out. The imposing aura he gave off was so mighty that even the flying dragon palace leader inside the six realms mirrors could feel it. I've broken through. Chen Shang looked at the six souls inside the divine sense sea world. It was flickering with light, emitting a powerful aura. Chen Shang stood up and then flew into the air. At this time, he could already fly freely. After breaking through, the first thing he would do was to save Long Chiumu. He took out the rat emperor beads. What happened to the rats inside? Chen Shang had been cultivating for the past few years and hadn't seen this rat emperor beads much. After taking it out, he released a mouse. The rat was still as big as before, but its strength had increased by a lot. It was a late period of Taizun realm. Other than this, the most inconceivable thing was that the rat had become a human. Following his will, this person could also turn back into a mouse. What exactly is going on? Chen Shang was surprised, and immediately turned to look at Flying Dragon Palace leader. It should be a good thing that he integrated the characteristics of the demonic dragon transformation to become a human. After this kind of mouse becomes a human, it will be much easier to accomplish. Flying Dragon Palace leader laughed. Can you control their appearances? I'll try. Chen Zhang's mind moved. The muscles and bones on Mouse Man's face suddenly moved, and instantly changed his appearance. It was just that Mouse Man's expression was very blank, and he looked very stiff. But following Chen Zhang's intentions, Mouse Man's face also had an expression, a smile, and he could even speak. Everything he said was in Chen Zhang's heart. This is equivalent to my external body. Furthermore, I am extremely powerful. It doesn't matter even if I die. Chen Shang patted Mouse Man's body, and nodded in satisfaction. Following that, he released many more of these Mouse Man's. There were about 100 of them, making them line up and control them at the same time. Chen Shang wanted to familiarize himself with how to control so many familiar faces to do things for him. After that, the number of people he knew increased and finally reached 5,000. As a result, he had the Mouse Man army of late period of Taizun realm, and was very powerful. He could even turn into a mouse. Great. After Chen Shang mastered it, he placed the heaven-devouring rat inside the dragon beast. The reason why he took out the rat emperor beads was to sense Long Chiumu's location. He felt that it would not be difficult for him to sense it, since it was already sensed by the high priest when he was still a grandmother of the dragon clan. Not in the flying dragon experience place. Chen Shang quickly sensed that the place was very far from here and it was not within the flying dragon experience place. Could it be in the dragon devil dead land? Although he did not know exactly where Long Chiumu was, he was certain that Long Chiumu was not dead, which made him feel a lot more at ease. Although he had used several years of time to raise his strength, he was still very fast, reaching the Venerable Ancestor realm from the middle stage of the Taizun realm. I'll leave the flying dragon experience place first. I can already use my space here, so it'll be easier next time. Chen Shang tried and was successful in teleporting. This was what he had learned from the myriad Dao divine arts. After teleporting a few times, he suddenly felt more than 10 auras approaching him. They were all demonic dragons. Previously, when he had broken through, he had caused quite a big commotion, so it wasn't strange that he had attracted people over. Has the high priest been sending people to find me here all these years? Chen Shang immediately turned invisible and quietly walked towards them. Those who are able to move freely here should be your ancestors. These ancestors should be quite precious to the high priest. When Chen Shang got closer, he saw that all the dragon demons were middle-aged in appearance, all of them were in the early stages of the ancestor realm. The early stage of revered ancestor was still very difficult for Chen Shang to deal with 5 years ago, but now he was not afraid at all. I should be able to find something from these guys' memories. Chen Shang planned to capture 2 of them alive and use the soul-absorbing devil spell on them. These more than a dozen dragon demons were originally flying in the air, but now they were all landing on the ground. This power is very strong. It should be left behind by that comrade Long Chiumu. I never thought that he would actually break through here after a few years. A middle-aged man looked at the place where Chen Shang was sitting and sneered, he is nearby. As long as we capture him back, the high priest can help us advance to the middle stage of our ancestor. Chapter 2904. The high priest had gained the ability to raise the power of the dragon demons. Chen Shang finally understood why there were so many powerful dragon demons working for the high priest. It wasn't easy for the dragon demons to become strong, especially the weaker ones. They had to rely on a lot of external help, and the high priest had a way to help them improve, which made them very loyal to the high priest. I must get rid of this high priest. Sooner or later, he will lead many of these dragon demons to turn the world upside down. Chen Shang could foresee that. Chen Shang was planning how to kill all of the dragon demons. This required a thorough plan of attack. Looking at this group of dragon demons, he coldly laughed in his heart, that high priest really has a good plan. He used the powerful descendants of the dragon demon great leader as sacrifices, but didn't use these ordinary dragon demons. Clearly, he is trying to weaken the power of the dragon demon great leader to increase his own strength. The high priest was definitely not someone who was easy to deal with. Very quickly, Chen Shang thought of an idea. He released over 10 heaven-devouring rats, turned them into a human, and then rushed out, running in all directions. Those dragon demons who were flying in the air were immediately astonished when they saw so many people appear, and they all looked pretty strong. Quickly chase! A dragon demon shouted, chase them separately. We must capture them all. Chen Shang did not think that things would turn out like this. As expected, these dragon demons split up to chase after Mouse Man. Although it was just the strength of the late period of Taizun realm, Chen Shang was not worried at all. He knew that these Mouse Man would definitely be able to stall these dragon demons for a period of time. When Chen Shang saw that the dragon demons were scattered, he immediately ran towards one of them. He just wanted them to separate so that he could defeat them one by one. Very quickly, he caught up to that dragon demon. As he was invisible, he was not discovered, and at that moment, that dragon demon was already attacking the Mouse Man from afar. Just as the dragon demon had condensed a powerful black ball of light, Chen Zhang's berserker's sword suddenly appeared. With a flash, it shot towards the dragon demon's body. With a single slash, the dragon demon was sliced into 8 pieces, cleanly. Chen Shang immediately threw all of these pieces of meat into the 6 realms mirrors, and then took out the head and used soul-absorbing devil spell on all of these heads. Very quickly, he obtained a large amount of information from the dragon demon's memories, and found out where Long Chiumu was. It is indeed in the Dragon Devil Dead Land, right in the middle of the abyss. Chen Shang told Flying Dragon Palace leader everything he knew. The center of Dragon Devil Dead Land has already been occupied by the High Priest, that is his territory. Chen Shang had been cultivating for the past few years, and many changes had occurred in the Flying Dragon Pagoda. Long Chiumu's father had already entered the Myriad Dao Mausoleum and could not come out. The other two great dragon demons had already been recruited by the High Priest, who was the strongest in his entire family. After the Flying Dragon Palace leader heard about this, he scolded, "That dragon demon lord is such a coward. He didn't even save his own daughter and hid inside the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. I actually gave myself to such a scumbag for nothing. This is such a great shame. Long Chiumu's current situation isn't too good. It's said that the place where she is being held is called Heaven's Punishment Hell. She would be tortured in any kind of way inside, so I have to hurry up and save her." He took out the Six Realms mirrors and entered the Six Realms time and space door to see Long Chiumu's Wheel of Destiny. He discovered that Long Chiumu's Wheel of Destiny was extremely weak and seemed to be in extreme pain. When Chen Shang found out about Long Chiumu's situation, he was even more anxious. Clenching his fist, he immediately teleported to the other dragon demon and killed it in an instant. The dragon demons that had come to search for him were quickly killed by him and thrown into the Rat Emperor beads to feed the rats. It seems like mice really like to eat this kind of dragon demon. Chen Shang laughed mischievously, and then left the Flying Dragon Experience place. 10 days later, he arrived at the Dragon Demon Imperial City in the Dragon Devil Dead Land. This was the most prosperous city in the Dragon Devil Dead Land, and it was home to many strong humans and dragon demons. The so-called Dragon Demon Holy Land was the huge sky ditch right in the middle of it, and many powerful dragon demons were born there, so it was called the Dragon Demon Holy Land. Now that Long Chiumu was inside, Chen Shang had to take action quickly to save him from the torture. He had entered the Six Realms time and space door here, but was still unable to teleport there. "Those fellows have never been to that sky ditch, I have to sneak in myself." When Chen Shang flew above the sky of the sky cavern late at night, he was already invisible, so it was difficult for others to discover him. As he neared the sky, he could feel the power of the barrier. If he were to touch it, it would definitely cause a great deal of commotion. What exactly is beneath this sacred land? How did the dragon come out of here? Wait until I save Long Chiumu, then we'll go and investigate. After Chen Shang had cultivated the myriad Dao divine arts, he had improved greatly in every aspect. His use of spatial energy, in particular, had reached an unprecedented level. Even in a place like the Flying Dragon Experience place where the spatial laws were restricted, he was still able to use the spatial laws. Chen Shang easily went through the barrier and used the White Tiger to jump instantly. These dragon demons have powerful array masters, and they also have a very profound understanding of the space laws. You have to be careful. He knew that Chen Shang had grasped an extremely terrifying power of the spatial laws, but he was careful to not sail a ship for 10,000 years. He did not wish for Chen Shang to be careless and cause grave harm to him. Got it. Chen Shang had always gone deep into the largest lair of the dragon demons. The high priest would definitely be more vigilant after losing his dragon devil grandmother. There would definitely be many powerful dragon demons by his side. Since Chen Shang could think of this, he would definitely not be careless. Not long after, he entered the depths of the Dragon Demon Holy Land. Below him was actually an extremely large underground palace, which was heavily guarded. Above the underground palace, there were more than 10 early-stage Venerable Ancestor Realm Dragon Demons patrolling. Not long after they passed by, another one came, and there were actually several such teams. What surprised Chen Shang was that there were not only the dragon demons, but humans as well. The powerful human ancestor had been turned into a patrol by a dragon. It looks like there is something important underneath this Dragon Demon Holy Land. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so strict. Chen Shang arrived in front of the large entrance of the underground palace. Even though there were more than 10 early-stage ancestor dragon demons standing there, they did not discover Chen Shang. The powerful invisibility that Chen Shang used was something that these dragon demons had never heard of, let alone seen with their own eyes. Chen Shang, who was standing in front of the door, teleported in with a thought and entered the underground palace. Flying Dragon Imperial Palace. After Chen Shang entered, he stood inside a passage. On the side of the passage, there was a stone tablet with the words, Flying Dragon Imperial Palace, written on it. This made him very puzzled. Chapter 2905. Flying Dragon Imperial Palace didn't sound like they had anything to do with the Dragon Demon, but the Dragon Demon treated this place as a holy land, and so many Dragon Demons were born from this place. What is the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace? Chen Shang anxiously asked Flying Dragon Palace leader. Flying Dragon Palace leader must definitely know something. Are you sure you didn't see wrong? The words, Flying Dragon Imperial Palace, are written on the stone tablet. Flying Dragon Palace leader shouted in shock when he heard it. I'm not blind, I'm definitely not seeing things. Chen Shang said, Hall Master old man, do you know about the matter of the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace? Quickly tell me, if you understand this place, then you can help me find Long Chiumu faster. Quote. Flying Dragon Palace leader did not speak, only after Chen Shang shouted a few times did he hear Flying Dragon Palace leader sigh. Chen Shang knew that there must be some sort of story behind it. Since the Flying Dragon Palace leader didn't say anything, he had no choice but to continue forward and explore it himself. Just after he walked a few steps, the Flying Dragon Palace leader sighed and said, Flying Dragon Imperial Palace was the first Flying Dragon Palace. The earliest Flying Dragon Palace. 4 great divine sects seems to be here before your Flying Dragon Palace. Chen Shang said. Flying Dragon Imperial Palace was created immediately after Flying Dragon Pagoda was finished. 4 great divine sects only appeared after Myriad Dao's mysterious technique was split, and Flying Dragon Imperial Palace came out much earlier than 4 great divine sects. I originally came from Flying Dragon Imperial Palace, so I created Flying Dragon Palace later on. The Flying Dragon Palace leader asked, I never thought that the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace would still be here, but why did it become like this? Chen Shang could speculate that the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace had disappeared very early on. At that time, not even the 4 great divine sects appeared, and when the Flying Dragon Palace leader came out of the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace, he possessed a strong power that allowed him to survive the battle with the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable. As for him, he had fought a great battle against the Dragon King's ancestor, and although he had received serious injuries, he had managed to survive. This was something that was rarely seen. Where do you think Long Chiumu would be? Chen Shang asked. He was extremely concerned about Long Chiumu. In the past, Flying Dragon Imperial Palace had a Heaven's Punishment Hall. If it was still there, then Long Chiumu should have been locked inside. The Flying Dragon Palace leader immediately led Chen Shang through the complex and complicated path inside towards the Heaven's Punishment Palace. There are all kinds of torture in the Heaven's Punishment Palace. This kind of torture is not something normal people can endure, even if its venerable ancestor later stage S that enter, they would commit suicide. But Long Chiumu is still alive, so she should be able to withstand it. Flying Dragon Palace leader said, you should hurry up. The Heaven's Punishment Great Formation in the Heaven's Punishment Great Hall will stop for an hour every day. This half hour is the happiest time of the day for those who enter. Quote. Chen Shang had already walked very fast and was using teleportation as well. Along the way, he hadn't met anyone along the way. Although there were a lot of people patrolling outside of Flying Dragon Imperial Palace with the dragon demons, the interior was very empty. The High Priest must be here too. Chen Shang had already arrived at the entrance of the Heaven's Punishment Hall. There was a signboard at the entrance with a few words written on it. Flying Dragon Imperial Palace is the most ancient existence in this Flying Dragon Pagoda. When I was still very young, I didn't know much about many things in the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace. The gigantic mountain that the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace is located on suddenly collapsed, and Flying Dragon Imperial Palace disappeared in one night. Fortunately, at that time, I already had a certain level of strength and I happened to be out, so I survived. After that, I created the Flying Dragon Palace. This Flying Dragon Palace leader actually didn't know what she was doing, so Chen Shang was very speechless. I couldn't help it. Back then this Flying Dragon Imperial Palace was already muddle-headed and didn't fall, that was already many years ago. I almost forgot about the existence of the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace, I didn't think that we would actually be in this kind of place. The Flying Dragon Palace leader said. Chen Shang teleported into the Heaven's Punishment Hall. Just as he entered, a bone-piercing cold energy suddenly attacked him, instantly entering his body. Ah, what the hell is that thing? Chen Zhang's entire body was in extreme pain, the cold force was like countless ice needles piercing into his body, the pain pierced into his bones and flesh, his internal organs, causing him to be in so much pain that he wished he was dead. The Heaven's Punishment Great Array is currently in operation. With how cold the air is, if I'm not wrong, it should be the twin heavenly layers of ice and fire. The next thing to do is to heat up and think of a way to defend. Quote. Just as Flying Dragon Palace leader finished speaking, Chen Shang felt as if he was being burnt. The cold energy that had just entered his body suddenly became scorching hot, as though needles were stabbing into his body. It was the same pain as before, but also a different kind of pain. Intense pain came, constantly changing, and in an instant, Chen Shang had experienced all kinds of pain. Just when he was extremely disgusted with this feeling and felt very conflicted, for some reason, the myriad Tao Divine technique suddenly started to circulate. This method of circulation was one of the parts that he had never been able to understand. The heavenly body section of the myriad Tao Divine arts was one of the hardest parts for him to comprehend, but he could now operate it smoothly. After remembering that he had smoothly circulated his energy, the pain suddenly disappeared. He, who had been rolling on the ground in pain, was now able to stand up. Is everything all right? Chen Shang looked around, only to realize that he was in a completely dark space, unable to see anything. He immediately took out the Six Realms mirrors and entered the Six Realms time and space door. He couldn't even come out from the Six Realms time and space door before, but now that he and Long Chiumu were in the same dimension, he was sure that he could do it. After finding Long Chiumu's Wheel of Fate, Chen Shang immediately teleported over. Just as he went over, he heard Long Chiumu scream in pain. He grabbed Long Chiumu and used a method to make him lose consciousness, and then placed Long Chiumu in the Yuyao Mountain Villa for their care. Long Chiumu's injuries were not light. She had been tortured to the point that she looked terrible. Fortunately, the Mei Jing sisters had a strong regeneration ability which allowed her to recover quickly. Chen Shang did not leave the place. He found out that this place could help him cultivate the myriad Tao's divine arts. At the moment, the myriad Tao divine ability was circulating on its own, so he had to take advantage of this situation to comprehend the reason. This way, he would be able to understand it in the future. After staying here for 10 days, he finally understood what was going on and quickly left. After all, the high priest was here. Long Chiumu did not wake up. She had already been tortured for a few years. This sudden relaxation would cause her to fall into a long period of cultivation to recuperate. After Chen Shang left the Dragon Demon Holy Land, he immediately went to look for Lin Jishan. He had not seen Lin Jishan and the Great Clan Elder for a long time as well. They were still hiding in the Little Bat's cave. Chen Zhang's sudden appearance here did not surprise them at all. You're finally back. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Lin Jishan was still worried about Chen Shang. Previously, Chen Shang had left a note saying that he was going to the Flying Dragon Experience place, but he did not come back, causing them to be worried to death. I'm fine. Chen Shang patted Lin Jishan's shoulder, and laughed. Uncle Lin, you are already an ancestor, hee. Great Elder and Lin Jishan were both currently in the Venerable Ancestor realm, but they were only in the early stages. Even though they did not know that Chen Shang had already stepped into the Venerable Ancestor realm, they did not dare to underestimate him. Chapter 2906. Chen Shang told them about him going to the Flying Dragon Experience place in a simple manner, and then asked them about their situation over the past few years. Right now, even the dragon demons are wildly plundering Tao Crystal S. I don't know why, but, the Great Clan Elder replied, previously, the Dragon Lord had a conflict with 2 other Dragon Lord and have entered the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. He should be trying to avoid being hunted down. Then the Dragon Demon Sovereign also took a lot of Tao Crystal. Does the Myriad Tao Mausoleum need a lot of Tao Crystal? Lin Jishan said. The little bat was not here. Chen Shang had not seen him for a long time, so at this time, Lin Jishan and the Great Clan Elder did not know much about the High Priest. The High Priest had never shown his face and had always kept a low profile, secretly controlling the entire demonic dragon corporation. The power structure of the demonic dragon is not that simple, Chen Shang said in a deep voice and then told them about the High Priest, surprising them greatly. Especially when the High Priest was able to help the dragon demons level up their Venerable Ancestor realm, it made their entire bodies tremble. There were many things about the dragon demons that were extremely mysterious. For example, the amount of ancestors the dragon demons had. Many humans did not know about them, but hearing Chen Shang say this, the dragon demons had more ancestors than they could imagine. Then wouldn't it be too late for us humans to make a comeback? Lin Jishan sighed. That's not right, what we need now is time. Sooner or later, the dragon demons will enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. The Myriad Dao Mausoleum must be hiding something to attract them. Chen Shang said, I'm not sure what is inside right now, but we need more Dao crystal. Right now, Chen Shang felt that the billions of Dao crystals left were too few. The high priest must have sent so many powerful dragon demons to plunder the Dao crystal for the sake of entering the Myriad Dao Mausoleum as well. Lin Jishan and the great clan elder had also gotten 1 trillion Dao crystal in these few years. This could be considered to be pretty good. Chen Shang did not take their Dao crystal because it was very easy for him to earn Dao crystal. When are we supposed to enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum? The head elder asked. We definitely can't let someone like the dragon demons get their hands on the good stuff inside. Of course, Chen Shang thought for a while, then said, when our Dao crystal has enough, we will go in. Great elder, I will give you some medicinal ingredients. Look and see if Master Wang and I can find a large group of alchemists to help refine it. If there are alchemists with Tai Zun realm helping them, then I will help them raise it to the Venerable Ancestor realm. Quote. Chen Shang had a lot of medicinal ingredients in the past few years that were grown inside the Meijing sisters. The medicinal ingredients refined into pills were extremely useful to many humans, allowing them to quickly break through, such as Wazundan. The Wazundan were relatively easier to refine. The Master Wang and Great Clan Elder were definitely able to refine them, and Chen Shang had the most number of medicinal ingredients to refine them. When the Great Clan Elder took a look at those medicinal ingredients, he could not help but be shocked. He felt that if these medicinal ingredients were to be refined into pills, there would definitely be more than 1 trillion Dao crystals. Alright, the Great Elder nodded. Okay, I'll go rest first. Chen Shang entered a stone room, and now that he had rescued Long Qiumu, he could finally heave a sigh of relief. When he entered the Yuyao Mountain Villa, he saw that Long Qiumu was lying on a couch. She was dressed in very little, and only simply encircled her waist and chest, revealing her slender waist that had a few muscles in it. Her slender thighs were stretched out perfectly, making her feel even more comfortable. Chu Mu, are you feeling better? When Chen Shang saw the enjoyment of Long Qiumu's sunbathing, his face was full of happiness. He knew that she did not leave any traces of shadow behind just because she stayed in the Heaven's Punishment Palace for a few days. Alright, there shouldn't be anything else. When Long Qiumu saw Chen Shang, she smiled at him. Although she wore very little, she was not afraid of Chen Shang looking at her with that fiery gaze. These past few years have been tough on you. Chen Shang said somewhat guiltily. He walked over and helped to comb Long Qiumu's long hair. It's nothing, it's just an experiential learning for me. Anyway, it's over now. Long Qiumu laughed magnanimously. She was a very optimistic and straightforward woman to begin with, and it was already very good that she was still alive. You don't have to be guilty. You were the one who saved me from the high priest. If you hadn't intervened at that time, I would have died a long time ago. Long Qiumu patted the back of Chen Zhang's hand and laughed. Isn't it good now? The high priest did not get his dragon grandmother, nor did he catch you, and you saved me. Quote. Chen Shang looked at Mei Jing's sisters, who was busy doing his work, and laughed. Do not bully these two sisters. How dare I bully your woman? They are even so considerate to take care of me. I thank them all too late. Long Qiumu laughed tenderly. I didn't think that there would be two such good girls hidden in Divine Sense Sea World, and they are twin sisters. Don't spout nonsense, they are just my friends, but speaking of my woman, that's a lot. Chen Shang laughed sinisterly. He also sat on a stone stool and took out some delicious food. He felt that Long Qiumu, the female dragon demon, must have never eaten anything good before. Sure enough, after Long Qiumu ate a little, he started to exclaim in admiration. Although it was just a normal fruit, the taste was extremely good. Where are your women? Flying Dragon Pagoda is in a very bad situation right now. It's not safe if you don't put them inside. Long Qiumu said. She understood human men very well, strong human men. There were definitely many women around them, and it was the same for them, the dragon demons. They're all in other worlds, and the situation there isn't too good either. The reason I'm getting stronger is so that I can return early. Chen Shang sighed. The only way for him to stabilize natural law world was to defeat him. What's going on? Although Long Qiumu knew that Chen Shang was a genius alchemist, he still did not understand him well enough. Do you know of the natural law divine lord in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum? This guy controls a lower world, and I came out of that world. Chen Shang said. Long Qiumu immediately understood. She understood the natural law divine lord quite well. After all, he was quite famous in the myriad Tao mausoleum, and was the #1 bone king among the 10 great bone kings of White Bones Imperial. This fellow isn't easy to deal with. He should be a Zongxi realm advanced stage cultivator. Long Qiumu suddenly grabbed Chen Zhang's hand, as she checked his current strength. Just as she was investigating, she frowned. Why are you? How is he so strong? Chen Shang pinched her jade hand and laughed. Isn't it all because I went to rescue you? I trained with my life on the line. He must be cultivating the myriad Tao divine technique. Long Qiumu could immediately guess. Chen Shang nodded his head. Chu Mu, do you really not know why the high priest is gathering all these Tao crystal? Your father has already entered the myriad Tao mausoleum, and I heard that he has brought a large group of Tao crystal with him. Quote, I wasn't sure about that before, but when I was captured by the high priest, he came to see me once and told me the specific uses of the Tao crystal. Long Qiumu said. Chapter 2907. Chen Shang was the most curious about this matter, but to think that Long Qiumu would actually tell the truth. What is it for? There are many mysterious transmission arrays left in the myriad Tao mausoleum. As long as we open these transmission array, we can teleport to some places. I heard that there are many treasures left behind from the myriad Tao mausoleum's construction in those places. Long Qiumu said, the reason the myriad Tao mausoleum was created was to hide some things, and it requires one to open those transmission arrays. What is it? Did your father tell you? Chen Shang asked again. For the myriad Tao mausoleum to actually have so many treasury, if it's true, then the things inside must be extraordinary. My father doesn't know either, but he only found out about this recently. It's said that many experts from the Divine Ghost Imperial country, Flying Dragon Ghost Realm and White Bones Imperial have already found those transmission array, and need a large number of Tao crystal to activate it. As for how many Tao crystal are needed, no one knows. Long Qiumu said, if you want to go in and try, then you must stock up enough Tao crystal. The Tao crystal was actually the key to opening the transmission array. Chen Shang actually wanted to go over to take a look. He had quite a few Tao crystal, but he felt that it was still not enough. Right now, he had already told the great clan elder and Master Wang to refine Wazun Dan. If they sold it, he would very quickly be able to obtain a sum of Tao crystal. I'll earn the Tao crystal first during this period of time. I must go in and take a look. If Chen Shang were to enter the myriad Tao mausoleum again, he would not end up in such a sorry state. Right now, he was at the early stage of the Venerable Ancestor realm, and was also able to use the power of space at a high level, even in myriad Tao mausoleum. What about you? What's your next plan? Chen Shang looked at Long Qiumu's long hair and asked. I don't have any plans, I'll just stay here. My pearl of life is no longer in the hands of the high priest. No matter what he does, he won't be able to find me. Long Qiumu lied on the couch, looking around at the calm and beautiful scenery, not willing to leave. Up to you. This place is huge. Even if 10 of you were here, I would still be able to accept you. Chen Shang laughed. I'll be going out first. I still have to refine pills to earn Tao Crystal S. Alright, I'll help the 2 girls grow the medicinal plants. It looks like it's quite fun. When Long Qiumu stood up, the cloth in front of her chest accidentally fell down, but luckily she anxiously turned around and was not seen by Chen Shang. Instead, it was her beautiful jade back that was completely revealed in front of Chen Shang. Cluck, cluck, Long Qiumu took out a robe and wrapped it around her body. She turned her head and saw the expression on Chen Zhang's face and couldn't help but laugh. You female dragon, don't tempt me. It's very easy for me to control myself. Chen Shang purposely revealed a lewd smile. Long Qiumu stuck out his tongue at Chen Shang, then walked towards the Mei Jing sisters' side. Chen Shang took a few ingredients needed to refine Wazun Dan and left his own divine sense sea world. Once he was outside, he took out the Tianchuang furnace and began to refine pills. Wazun Dan were rather hard to refine in the first place, but now that Chen Shang was using the Venerable Ancestor realm and he had the Tianchuang furnace, refining them would be even easier. In order to speed up the process of refining, Chen Shang stuffed a large amount of medicinal ingredients into the furnace, refining around 10 to 20 pills in one go. One had to know that this kind of Wazun Dan only needed 1 pellet to allow 6 God stage to step into the Tai Zun realm, and he could refine 20 pellets a day. This was equivalent to allowing 26 God stage to break through. I wonder how Master Wang and Great Clan Elder are doing in the process of refining. Chen Shang spent 10 days to refine 200 pellets, and then left his stone room. At this time, only Lin Jishan was the most relaxed as he sat in the hall in a daze. He went out every day to learn more about recent events, so as to be able to understand the movements of the Draconians. Just as Chen Shang was about to speak with Lin Jishan, he suddenly sensed something in the hall. He raised his head and saw that the small bat was actually hanging upside down on the hall like a bat. Although he was called a small bat, he was not a bat. "Little bat, you're finally back. Where have you been all this time?" Chen Shang asked. The little bat did not answer. He just hung on top of it with his eyes closed. Lin Jishan shook his head and said, "The little bat is in closed-door cultivation." He said that he is preparing to step into the Venerable Ancestor later stage. Ancestor, late stage. Chen Shang was shocked that the little bat had actually reached such a realm. Lin Jishan nodded his head. "I don't know where he went, to be able to make my cultivation progress by leaps and bounds," and not even asking him about it, but he said that his cultivation method is different from mine, and telling me is useless. "Uncle Lin, the Great Elder and Master Wang haven't come out yet?" Chen Shang asked as he took out a jade box. Inside the box were Wazundan's. "They asked me to investigate about the Wazundan 3 days ago and even gave me 10 of them to sell." Lin Jishan said, "1 pellet for 20 billion, I sold them all. Now, I have 200 billion Dao crystal, I earned this very quickly." 20 billion Dao crystal S for 1 pellet, made Chen Shang frown. Lin Jishan sold it very quickly, which meant that many people were getting richer and richer. "Who bought your Dao crystal?" Chen Shang asked. He was worried that the Wazundan would not sell out because it was too expensive. "They are all ordinary people. I don't know what's the reason for this flying dragon experience place, but the floors down there contain more and more Dao crystal, and as long as they are willing to suffer a little, creating several billion Dao crystal S won't be a problem." Lin Jishan laughed, but with the increasing number of Dao crystal, the current items are more and more expensive. The Flying Dragon Pagoda had so many Dao crystal in these past few years, so Chen Shang did not know what this meant. "Uncle Lin, help me sell these. If you sell one, I'll give you 1 billion Dao crystal." "How about it?" Chen Shang handed over a jade box to Lin Jishan. Inside it was 20 billion Dao crystal. "What did you say? If you still think that I am Uncle Lin, then don't give me the Dao crystal. Even if I wanted to come, it would be useless. The reason Lin Jishan was able to become your ancestor at this time was all thanks to Chen Shang." All right then." Chen Shang did not reject Lin Jishan's good intentions. Someone like Lin Jishan, he definitely would not take his Dao crystal. Lin Jishan knew that there were Wazundan's in the jade box, but he never thought that there would be that many. One was 20 billion, but there were 200 pills inside, so the selling price was 4 trillion. "Alright, I'll go and sell it now." Lin Jishan was also very excited. When he thought about how he could make such a big deal, he felt that he was really looking forward to it. Chapter 2908. Just as Lin Jishan left the cave, the little bat above suddenly dropped down, causing Chen Shang to scream out in fear. "Little bat." Chen Shang saw the little bat slowly climb up, its eyes releasing a strange green light. "Old Lin left?" the little bat asked. "He left. What happened to you?" Chen Shang was quite curious about the little bat's movements in recent years, giving people a mysterious feeling. "I have something to tell you," the little bat said. "This matter is very secretive, and no one else is to know about it." Chen Shang felt it was strange, and said, "Do you not trust old Lin?" The little bat said, "It's not that I can't trust him. I'm worried that I'll harm him, so I can't tell him." "Alright, let's talk somewhere else then." Chen Shang brought little bat into his stone room and closed the stone door. After the little bat entered, it said, "I am now late-stage ancestor, but old Lin does not know that I did not intentionally lie to him." "What? You've already revered late-stage ancestor? So fast?" Chen Shang exclaimed. "How did you manage to level up? It sounds rather tortuous. In short, it was a fortuitous encounter I had in the Dragon Devil Dead Land. Weren't I always probing the Dragon Devil Dead Land before this? Afterwards, I stumbled into a mysterious place in the Dragon Devil Dead Land and was trapped inside for a long time. It was during that time that I made the leap forward." The little bat said. There was a flying dragon imperial palace at the bottom of the sacred ground in the middle of Dragon Devil Dead Land, so Chen Shang was not surprised by little bat's words. "I also went to a mysterious place in the Dragon Devil Dead Land called Flying Dragon Imperial Palace." "Did you enter this place?" Chen Shang asked. No, I've never been to the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace, but I know it's there. The little bat said, the place I am going is the place where world-defying stage dragon ancestor went into seclusion. It is very close to Flying Dragon Imperial Palace. World-defying stage dragon ancestor. When Chen Shang heard this name, he knew that this guy was truly impressive. Generally speaking, late-stage ancestor is already at the pinnacle. To reach this realm, one can only obtain greater power by increasing the Tao meridian, strengthening the physical body, or through other means. To the extremely large number of people, this is the peak of the realm, but there are very few who can break through, and that is the world of pride, and world-defying stage dragon ancestor is someone who can step into the world of arrogance. Quote, Chen Shang had previously heard from the Flying Dragon Palace leader that the Venerable Ancestor realm was the end and that there was no more realm above it. However, during the time of the Venerable Ancestor realm, one could still use various methods to bring their strength to the limit. There were also a few Venerable Ancestor later stage S, and although the Flying Dragon Palace leader was also a Venerable Ancestor later stage, he was exceptionally strong because he had stayed in the Flying Dragon experience place for a very long time. But now, the little bat had told Chen Shang that there was still an existence of the arrogant realm. You want me to go take a look at the dragon's ancestral space, right? Chen Shang said. Yes, but it's a bit dangerous because when I go there, the space is very unstable. The little bat said, I hope that you can go. Perhaps it will be of some help to you, because there are so many profound things in there that I don't understand. If you figure it out, you might be able to break through the bottleneck known as the Venerable Ancestor later stage in the future. Chen Shang also wanted to know the secret of the world-defying stage. Allegedly, the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace back then was created by the world-defying stage dragon ancestor. Other than the world-defying stage dragon ancestor, there was also another world-defying stage Tao ancestor. The world-defying stage Tao ancestor created the Myriad Tao divine technique to build the Myriad Tao mausoleum, creating the entire world. All of the worlds were evolved out of the power of his Myriad Tao bit by bit, and took countless years to become like this. Quote, these two are amazing guys, they should still be here. Furthermore, there should be more than just the two of them in world-defying stage, there must be some of them, I just don't know where they are at. All of this was what he had learned in that space. Afterwards, the little bat told Chen Shang the location of the dimensional space in great detail. After Chen Shang remembered this, he immediately set off. On the way, he told this matter to Flying Dragon Palace leader, and when Flying Dragon Palace leader heard about it, he was extremely shocked. He had stayed in the late stage of the ancestor realm for many years, and had never known that there was actually a damned world-defying stage above it. What kind of realm is that? Can we enter this realm? Just thinking about it makes me feel that it is hard to believe that a guy of that realm can create something like the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. If we can also step into that realm, then wouldn't we be able to build a Myriad Tao Mausoleum as well? Flying Dragon Palace leader knew how terrifying Myriad Tao Mausoleum was, and the person who created the Myriad Tao Mausoleums and Myriad Tao's divine arts was even more terrifying. I don't know, if we could also enter the world-defying stage, we would definitely be much weaker than those kind of patriarchs. Chen Shang said. He quickly arrived at the Dragon Devil Dead Land and followed the little bat's instructions to arrive at an ancient stone forest. There were huge stone pillars here, and they were scattered everywhere. Many of them had been destroyed by people, resulting in the appearance of many scattered boulders. The mysterious space that world-defying stage dragon ancestor had once resided in was here. The little bat had made a mark on the stone pillars here. As long as one followed those marks, one would be able to find that space. It took Chen Shang more than 2 hours to follow the markings and finally reach his destination. Here, there were many of these huge rocks that were left behind after the stone pillars were broken. The little bat marked the stone, and there was a mysterious space inside. Chen Shang placed his hand on the huge boulder, and quickly felt the space inside. With a thought, he entered. There was not even one book on the shelf, but there was a very thin and old one on the table. It's different from what little bat said. He said that there's only one piece of paper here, but when I came here, I actually saw a book. Could it be that someone had been here before? Chen Shang immediately became vigilant, and carefully observed the surroundings of the house. After a moment, he was certain that there was no one else in the book. Only then did he relax a little and open the book. After opening it, he found that it was filled with ancient words. Thankfully, he could understand them. Very soon, he was captivated by the contents of the letter and was extremely shocked. There were many things that Little Bat had told him before, and some that Little Bat had not. The Little Bat had previously said that he couldn't understand too much, which was why he asked Chen Shang to come over. As for Chen Shang, he didn't know why, but he could clearly see what was written on the book. This was originally a person's record of what happened, and it was also recorded when the world-defying stage dragon ancestor was here. This room is the world-defying stage dragon ancestor's secret room. After the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace sank, this room left the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace, but it did not stay too far away from the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace. Chen Shang finally understood why this space would appear here. The book was written on it. Chapter 2909. Chen Shang also found the answer why the Little Bat was looking at things that were different from what he had seen. The things that the Little Bat and he were looking at on the table were the memories of the world-defying stage dragon ancestor using a special method. Different people had different memories of being able to see it. Because Chen Shang had cultivated the myriad Tao divine arts, he was able to see even more things. World-defying dragon demon. This is a great enemy of the world-defying stage dragon ancestor, and he's actually sealed right in this flying dragon pagoda. The world-defying dragon demon is unable to kill him, and even if the world-defying stage dragon ancestor and the world-defying stage dragon ancestor joined forces, they would still be unable to defeat him. Quote, Chen Shang looked at the contents inside, and told Flying Dragon Palace leader everything that he saw. Although it is impossible to kill the world-defying dragon demon, after they joined hands to seal the world-defying dragon demon here, a large amount of suppression was also placed on the world-defying dragon demon's soul. This way, it would be difficult for the world-defying dragon demon to break the seal. However, world-defying dragon demons are extremely powerful, and can even cause some activity from time to time. For example, he used his own blood to create a large number of dragon demons. Quote, and the reason why these dragon demons were extremely evil in the beginning, was mainly because the blood in the world-defying dragon demon's body carried an extremely evil power, but in the end, as the world-defying dragon demon's evil blood gradually weakened, the dragon demons created by his normal blood became similar to humans. Quote, this could explain why all the dragon demons that appeared in recent years were so special, and not as vicious as they were in the past. Why didn't you seal this fellow inside the Myriad Tao Mausoleum? Flying Dragon Palace leader also understood a lot of things, but he was very confused about this. World-defying stage dragon ancestor said that the Myriad Tao Mausoleum was originally a place where many strong evil beings were locked up. It is a place with a dense amount of evil energy. If the world-defying dragon demon were to absorb a large amount of it, the world-defying dragon demon would become stronger, maybe the seal would be broken and the Myriad Tao Mausoleum would be destroyed. Chen Shang said, and after sealing the world-defying dragon demon here, they would attract another group of humans here. Over time, the world-defying dragon demon's evil blood would decrease by a lot, and after the world-defying dragon demon's evil blood would decrease, the threat would decrease. Even though the world-defying dragon demon is sealed, he still wants to escape. That's why he would occasionally sacrifice his blood to create a dragon demon, wanting the dragon demon to turn the entire flying dragon pagoda into an environment favorable to him. However, world-defying stage dragon ancestor and world-defying stage Tao ancestor had long anticipated this, so they left a large amount of resources in the flying dragon pagoda to attract a large number of humans. Humans can suppress the dragon demons created by the world-defying dragon demon through cultivation, and after a long time, they will weaken a lot of the world-defying dragon demon's power. Their plan is very long. It took countless years for the evil blood of world-defying dragon demon to become extremely thin. Chen Shang had indeed seen that many of the dragon demons were almost the same as humans, although there was blood from world-defying dragon demons in their bodies. This world-defying dragon demon is inside the flying dragon pagoda. The Flying Dragon Palace leader asked again. That's right, he's inside the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace, that's why the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace sank so deep. That's also because the sealed world-defying dragon demon's soul woke up, and he used his powerful strength to hide himself deep inside the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace. Chen Shang saw all of these from the things that the world-defying stage dragon ancestor left him. It's actually right under the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace. When Flying Dragon Palace leader thought back, he could not help but feel fear. He had actually lived in Flying Dragon Imperial Palace for a period of time. If that world-defying dragon demon suddenly broke the seal, they would all be dead. The world-defying dragon demon should be much weaker now, After Chen Shang said this, his eyebrows suddenly tightened. Damn it, the High Priest. It is very likely that the High Priest was the one formed by the world-defying dragon demon using the last bit of its evil blood, so this bastard is very evil. Quote. Flying Dragon Palace leader said with a solemn voice, this is trouble. This guy can help the dragon demon become stronger, maybe it's because of the world-defying dragon demon giving us pointers from behind. He is definitely helping the world-defying dragon demon do something. Quote. Chen Shang immediately told this to Long Qiumu, who was inside the Yuyao Mountain Villa. Although Long Qiumu had the dragon demon's blood in her body, she was extremely kind. When she found out about this, she couldn't believe it either. Myriad Dao Mausoleum. Long Qiumu took a deep breath and said, based on what you know, the world-defying dragon demon needs a large amount of evil energy to recover, and only the Myriad Dao Mausoleum has enough power. But the world-defying dragon demon is already sealed here. How is he going to head to the Myriad Dao Mausoleum? Chen Shang said, as long as they enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum, they will not be able to come out, and will not be able to bring out the evil power. As Chen Shang said this, he suddenly came to a realization. And there were also some humans from the Zhao clan, as well as some humans who were trying to curry favor with the dragon demons. If they were to bring some of the things that the dragon demons had created and enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum to gather their evil energy, after accumulating it for a period of time, they would be able to restore the world-defying dragon demon to its original state of extreme evil. Zhao clan. Chen Shang clenched his teeth and said, these fellows will definitely help the High Priest. For example, White Bones Imperial and Flying Dragon Ghost Realm. The relationship between these two powers is pretty good with the dragon demon, so the High Priest must have arranged for people to talk to them. Long Qiumu said, it seems it's very difficult to stop them. When the High Priest wanted to use me to feed the dragon demon grandmother, he should have been reclaiming her energy. Because the world-defying dragon demon created a second-generation dragon demons, but it was not evil enough, so he had to reclaim our energy. I finally understand now. Quote. The ultimate goal of the High Priest was to help the world-defying dragon demon come out. Chen Shang, where are the world-defying stage dragon ancestor and the world-defying stage Dao ancestor? Are they dead? The world-defying dragon demon is about to run out. The Flying Dragon Palace leader was unable to stop this kind of thing, he was still alive. I don't know, but that didn't say where they were going. Chen Shang sighed. They mentioned that there are some things in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum that they want to pass on, which should be those mysterious formations that require a large number of Dao crystal to activate. Could it be that we can only hide in Myriad Dao Mausoleum? If the world-defying dragon demon comes out, this flying dragon pagoda will definitely be destroyed by it. This is something that has suppressed him for many years. The Flying Dragon Palace leader said. If he wants to come out, it will take a long time, and maybe world-defying stage dragon ancestor and world-defying stage Dao ancestor will come back later. Chen Shang said. Then did you mention how one could step into the world-defying stage? Flying Dragon Palace leader was very concerned about this. If he could step into world-defying stage, he wouldn't have to be so afraid of world-defying dragon demon. Yes, just cultivate the Myriad Dao Divine technique. Chen Shang said, world-defying stage dragon ancestor cultivates the Myriad Dao Divine arts himself. Although the world-defying stage dragon ancestor is named Dragon Tribe, he was also born from the evolution of the Myriad Dao's power, and was initially still the world-defying stage Dao ancestor's beast pet. Quote. Chapter 2910. Flying Dragon Palace leader's heart was currently filled with hatred. If he was not in such dire straits, maybe he would have already started cultivating the Myriad Dao Divine arts and search for a way to break through to the world-defying stage. But right now, it was not easy for him to recover. First, it would take a lot of time. You said that the little bat can advance by leaps and bounds here, can you? Flying Dragon Palace leader suddenly asked. Is there any method here that can help you increase your cultivation? Chen Shang shook his head. No, originally there was some residual powerful force that had already been absorbed by the little bat. Although he did not have any gains in this area, Chen Shang knew about the world-defying stage and felt that it was just a big gain. What worried him most was that the High Priest was causing trouble here. We have to be wary of the High Priest. He probably doesn't know that I was the one who took away the dragon grandmother to save Long Qiumu. Chen Shang had asked Long Qiumu, but he did not reveal his situation to the High Priest. At this time, many people did not know that he had returned from the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. Especially the people from the Zhao clan, they had basically forgotten about the name Chen Shang now. After all, 10,000 years had passed and Chen Shang had never once appeared. Looks like I have to make a trip to the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. Inside the Myriad Dao Mausoleum, there are ways for me to buy more time. Chen Shang had a good old acquaintance in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum, and that was the Time Ghost. The Time Ghost's small room could change the flow of time. Chen Shang felt that if he could give the Dao Crystal more, the Time Ghost might be able to change the flow of time even more. At that time, he would be able to buy more time. Chen Shang left this place and returned to find the little bat. After going back, little bat hastily asked Chen Shang. He too wanted to know how much Chen Shang knew. Chen Shang told everything he knew to the little bat, satisfying the little bat's curiosity. After hearing all this, the little bat was also worried. He already knew about the existence of the High Priest. It seems like I have to find out which human powers the High Priest is cooperating with. If I find out, we'll kill these guys first. The little bat said. Alright, I'll leave it all to you. Chen Shang knew that the little bats were extremely good at this sort of thing. After the little bat left, Chen Shang headed towards the Myriad Dao Mausoleum again. Right now, it was even easier for him to go to the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. Although the door to the Myriad Dao Mausoleum was tightly shut, he could immediately teleport inside and arrive at the entrance to the stone room that the Time Ghost was in. After entering, Time Ghost immediately greeted Chen Shang while grinning. Chen Shang was his very important guest. You're here again, you've become even more powerful. Time Ghost was already very familiar with Chen Shang. Previously, when Chen Shang was concocting pills here, he would make a lot of noise. Time Ghost, can you make the time range change a bit larger? Chen Shang replied, Dao Crystal is not a problem. My greatest limit is to allow this place a day outside, but there must be more Dao Crystal. The Time Ghost said. How much do you want? Chen Shang never thought that the Time Ghost was that powerful. The time laws here were extremely difficult to control. The fact that the Time Ghost could change the time laws so greatly was truly surprising. 200 billion Dao Crystal going once. If I use it once, I need to rest for a few days. If we can make you stay here for a day, it will be a year outside. The Time Ghost said, even 100 billion Dao Crystal is not expensive, right? Alright, Chen Shang didn't think that it was expensive either. After all, time was very important now. He wanted to quickly gather more Dao Crystal. Only by doing this would he be able to obtain more inheritance in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. The reason why Chen Shang bought time was mainly to refine Huazun Dan. There were a lot of people at the late stage of 6 God stage, so their strength could be considered not bad. They had enough strength to obtain a large amount of Dao Crystal and could go to other floors to search for the Dao Crystal's mine. Generally speaking, these late stage 6 God stages could accumulate several tens of billions of Dao Crystal by their side in just a few decades or 100 years. Adding on to the fact that there were more and more Dao Crystal in the Flying Dragon Pagoda, this group of people became even richer. Chen Shang did not wish for all of their Dao Crystal to be taken away by the High Priest. Right now, Chen Shang not only wanted to refine Huazun Dan, he also wanted to refine Jinzun Dan for Mei Jing's sisters to eat. Their bodies were still too weak, and they needed to eat more. In addition, he still had to help the Flying Dragon Palace leader reconstruct his body, and this would require a large amount of Jinzun Dan-s. He planned to use more than 10 years to complete all of these. Of course, here in the Time Ghost, it would only be equivalent to 10 days outside. Chen Shang first refined 2,000 Huazun Dan. If he sold them, it would be 4 trillion. He then started to refine Jinzun Dan and let Flying Dragon Palace leader eat them. He also hoped that Flying Dragon Palace leader would become stronger and be a strong partner in the future. Just like this, Chen Shang stayed in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum for more than a month, and completed all of the things that he planned. If not for the Time Ghost needing rest, he would have been faster. Flying Dragon Palace leader had already recovered his original Myriad Dao Gold body, but he was still a bit short. He planned to go to Flying Dragon Experience Place to cultivate once he returned. And what Chen Shang did not expect was that the Jinzun Dan's effects on the evil woman, Long Chiumu, were even better. Long Chiumu had already broken through to the Venerable Ancestor later stage, and her body had become extremely strong. Originally, she only had around the initial and middle stages of strength. However, eating those Jinzun Dan had allowed her strength to increase so quickly, causing Chen Shang to suspect that it was caused by the heaven-devouring rat that refined them. After the Rat Emperor beads fused with the Dragon Demon Grandmother, it had become a Dragon Demon Rat Emperor beads. Long Chiumu, on the other hand, was a dragon demon, so the Jinzundan that was refined by the dragon demon beast had a much better effect on her. Chen Shang left the Myriad Dao Mausoleum and returned to the Flying Dragon Pagoda, bringing him to the first Flying Dragon experience place. The Flying Dragon Palace leader had many Flying Dragon bead, and he could directly head for the higher levels of the Flying Dragon experience place, so Chen Shang didn't need to take him there. In order to facilitate communication with the Flying Dragon Palace leader, Chen Shang had used his spatial power to refine 2 communication jade symbol paper. If he needed to search for the Flying Dragon Palace leader, he could directly contact him. In a month's time, Uncle Lin should be able to sell all those Wazundan. Chen Shang had used 2 trillion of his Dao Crystal S at the time Ghost. If Lin Jishan sold it all, then he would have 4 trillion, how could he not be nervous? When he returned to the small Bat Mountain cave, he saw the great clan elder and Master Wang sitting inside. When they saw that Chen Shang had returned, they all stood up. "You're finally back, something happened to old Lin." The great clan elder hastily replied, "He was captured by the Zhao clan." When Chen Shang heard this, he immediately clenched his fists so tightly that they creaked with sound, and then said in a deep voice, "Why did they want to take Uncle Lin away?" Chapter 2911. Is jealous of the Wazundan that old Lin is selling, but the relationship between Zhao clan and the dragon demon is very good. "You're playing this trick again. Zhao clan is really too shameless, I definitely won't let them go, I had wanted to do something to them for a long time." Chen Shang snorted, "I'll go look for them now." Chen Shang was not afraid of the Zhao clan. Zhao clan intends to host a large assembly to try the pill thief. It will begin in 5 days. The Master Wang said, "By doing this, they are obviously trying to lure us out." Chen Shang nodded her head, "Don't be afraid of them, Zhao clan and the rest should have already forgotten about me. When the time comes, I will change my appearance to another one and see what they have to say." There were still a few more days before Chen Shang headed towards the Flying Dragon experience place. Flying Dragon Palace leader was still here. Not long after he arrived, he received a message from Chen Shang. He was very excited about Chen Shang. He would definitely help him with this kind of thing, so he immediately left Flying Dragon experience place to meet up with Chen Shang. Although the Zhao clan was strong, they were definitely unable to defeat the Flying Dragon Palace leader. Furthermore, Chen Zhang's own strength was extremely terrifying, especially after cultivating the myriad Dao divine arts. His Yuyao Mountain Villa also had a dragon devil princess of the Venerable ancestor later stage. Although the little bat was not here, his relationship with Lin Jishan was already so close. Chen Shang guessed that he had already gone to the Zhao clan to save Lin Jishan. A few days later, Great Zhao City. Chen Shang and the others gathered, and the little bat was indeed in the Great Zhao City. This was the territory of the Zhao clan, and the entire city belonged to the Zhao clan. The little bat and Flying Dragon Palace leader were both very strong. With the 2 of them, there was no need to be afraid of Zhao clan's Venerable ancestor later stage. When the time comes, you guys can make your move based on the situation. Because at the moment, we still do not know how much power the Zhao clan is hiding. Chen Shang said. Zhao clan has a total of 2 Venerable ancestor later stage S, and 20 of them are in the early and middle stages of the Venerable ancestor realm. The little bat said, "But when the trial starts, maybe some powerful dragon demons will come. That Wazundan is highly valued. This kind of pill can allow people in the later stages of 6 God stage to quickly become overlords. In a short period of time, it has already become a myth. Some people can even earn a lot by buying and selling it." The little bat continued, "Old Lin is still not cautious enough. He was captured by Zhao clan's scumbag." Chen Shang never thought that the Wazundan would receive so much attention from the Zhao clan and the dragon demons. They definitely know that Uncle Lin isn't in charge of selling the Wazundan, but their goal is to uncover the identity of the person behind the pill refiner, and that is me. Chen Shang said, "Looks like they really want the pill formulas." Master Wang laughed coldly, "These bunch of bastards from the Zhao clan, they might have the medicine for the Wazundan, but they don't know how to refine it, so they used this kind of despicable method." When Master Wang obtained the Wazundan's medicine, he had tried for many years but to no avail. In the end, it was Chen Shang who made it up and passed the method of refinement on to him, allowing him to succeed. Zhao clan has always been like this. The great clan elder sighed, "It is such a great shame to have been in heavenly alchemy divine sect with them." Tomorrow will be the day when the trial is held in the middle of Great Zhao City, publicly judging Lin Jishan. At the same time, they were very angry at Lin Jishan's methods. A single Wazundan was actually only selling for 20 billion, if they were selling it for the Zhao clan, they would sell it for at least 200 billion. Chen Shang and the rest were in the hotel. On the morning of the next day, they would head to the plaza in the middle of the great Zhao city. There were a lot of people there, as they came to watch the show. The people here all felt pity for Lin Jishan, because Lin Jishan still had a lot of Wazundan, but he did not give them to the Zhao clan. When Chen Shang arrived and saw Lin Jishan's injured body, he was so angry that he almost couldn't control himself. Fortunately, even if the great clan elder calmed him down, it was because Chen Shang had come today to fix Zhao clan up. Since the important figures of the Zhao clan had yet to arrive, it would be hard for them to not alert him. When most of the people had arrived, an old man from the Zhao clan walked up onto the stage. This old man was at the early stage of the honorable ancestor, and was also the strongest out of the present Zhao clan, the rest were at the middle and late stage of the Taizun realm. The experts of the Zhao clan's venerable ancestor later stage did not move. Everyone should know about this pill thief by now. It was him who stole the medicinal formulas of our Zhao clan's precious Wazundan. He has already sold a large number of medicinal materials and Wazundan at a low price. The old man said, this caused our Zhao clan to suffer grievous losses. Today, we will publicly punish him so that those who have ulterior motives towards us, the Zhao clan will be kept under wraps. HMPH, did you refine the Wazundan? Bullshit, Lin Jishan immediately scolded, why don't you make a batch on the spot for everyone to see? Chen Shang and the rest were also furious, the Zhao clan was actually so shameless, turning white into black. The ingredients have all been stolen by you, it's difficult to mature Wazundan's medicinal ingredients, and we don't have enough medicinal ingredients to refine it in a short period of time. The old man from the Zhao clan said calmly. Chen Shang took a few deep breaths to relax himself, and then shouted, this one also knows how to refine Wazundan. I have the ingredients to refine Wazundan in my hands. This senior from Zhao clan, can you refine a batch of Wazundan on the spot for everyone to see? When Lin Jishan heard this voice, he also felt very confused, because it was not Chen Zhang's voice. He immediately looked at the crowd and quickly saw that the person who spoke just now was a middle-aged man. This middle-aged man was none other than Chen Shang himself. At this moment, he was sending a sound transmission to Lin Jishan, Uncle Lin, it's me. We're here to save you, you just have to be patient. Quote. You guys hurry up and go. This is a trap, the draconic demons and venerable ancestor later stage experts of the Zhao clan are all nearby. Lin Jishan immediately tried to persuade them, he did not want to harm Chen Shang and the others. Don't worry, we also have a powerful venerable ancestor later stage on our side, said. Flying Dragon Palace leader, Long Chiumu and the little bat were not weak. The Zhao clan looked at Chen Shang, he started to be cautious, he was worried that someone would suddenly rush in to save Lin Jishan. Chen Shang squeezed through the crowd and smiled, Zhao clan's pill techniques are excellent. I have known of it for many years and coincidentally have some Wazundan medicine ingredients. The old man from the Zhao clan had expected all sorts of things to happen, but he never expected such a thing to happen. Zhao clan did not know how to refine Wazundan, but they did have the ingredients and pill formulas, they just did not know how to refine. Chapter 2912. Chen Shang saw that the Zhao clan elder did not know what to say, and smiled, does your Zhao clan not dare to accept my challenge? Or, your Zhao clan cannot refine Wazundan? Chen Shang looked at Lin Jishan, and said, this big brother does not seem to be a pill thief, if he was able to steal Wazundan from your Zhao clan, he definitely would not be weak, nor stupid, and definitely not be stupid enough to do something like sell Wazundan publicly, which would attract the eyes of others. Chen Shang saw that the old man still had yet to speak, the Wazundan is not unique to your Zhao clan, I can refine it just like that. On what basis are you saying that this big brother stole your pill formulas? Take out the evidence. Quote. Everyone started to discuss. The Wazundan could benefit many people, so its price was not too expensive. It was something that many late-stage 6 God stage would accept. Now that the Zhao clan made such a move, it would be hard to sell this kind of pill in the future. Can you really refine Wazundan? A golden-robed old man walked out and asked. That's right. To tell you the truth, the Wazundan in this big brother's hands was really refined by me. Chen Shang said, if you release him now and compensate some Dao crystal, this matter will be fine. Humph, your words have no basis. Why don't you try refining it? His strength was not weak, he was from the Venerable Ancestor later stage and his status was also very high. Chen Shang did not know who he was. What about you? You guys, let me have a look as well. Chen Shang laughed. I don't think you guys know how to refine. You caught my friend and only want to lure me out. Our alchemist is in closed-door training. Otherwise, he would definitely let you experience the great pill techniques of our Zhao clan. The golden-robed elder said, our Zhao clan has indeed lost a batch of Wazundan's ingredients. If you really can refine a batch of Wazundan, then we can prove that your friend is not a thief or thief. At that time, we will also compensate you. Chen Shang was of course clear of the old man's motive. He wanted to confirm if he really could refine Wazundan's, and if he did, they would definitely make a move. When Chen Shang had just gone to the Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect, he was also used by the Zhao clan for this trick. He felt that it was extremely funny, the Zhao clan had almost forgotten about him but he still remembered this move. Alright, Chen Shang took out his Tianchuang furnace. The Tianchuang furnace had a huge change, the people of the Zhao clan did not recognize them. Chen Shang took out the medicine needed to refine the Wazundan, which were the twin divine fruits. When the golden-robed elderly man saw these twin divine fruits, he immediately confirmed that they were the ingredients to refine Wazundan's. His heart was secretly excited. After many years of unsuccessful attempts, there was actually someone who was able to refine them now. He had already decided that no matter what, he had to get his hands on this method of refining. After Chen Shang took out the pill furnace, he immediately began to refine it. While he was refining, he quietly placed the supreme blood coconut inside, which was the key to refining the Wazundan. Chen Zhang's technique was extremely brilliant, the golden-robed elder could not even see how had managed to put in the supreme blood coconut. In his heart, he was also very curious as to how the person in front of him managed to refine a Wazundan. Chen Shang refined Wazundan very quickly, and it was just 2 pills per furnace, it took him 4 hours to finish refining it. How is it? I've already finished refining it. Can you release him now? Chen Shang said. Let me see, I don't know if it's true or not, and I have to get someone to test it on me. Although the golden-robed elder's tone was extremely domineering, in his heart, he was filled with admiration for Chen Shang, because he was unable to refine a Wazundan. Afterwards, he called for a young man. This man was in the late stage of 6 God stage, he looked extremely arrogant, and when he came here, he even smiled disdainfully at Chen Shang. If he can step into the Tai Zun realm after eating it, then it will prove that the Wazundan you refined is qualified. The golden-robed elder said. After the man ate it, he sat down to cultivate. Not long after, he started to laugh maniacally because he had already stepped into the Tai Zun realm. They had actually seen the alchemist who refined the Wazundan. In their eyes, this was a supreme existence, especially for those in the later stages of the 6 God stage. We can release him now. Chen Shang said. No, our Zhao clan's medicine has indeed been stolen. You have only proven that you can refine Wazundan now, but not that you didn't steal from our Zhao clan's Wazundan. Chen Shang smiled slightly, then, what do you think we should do? Come back to Zhao clan with us and help us investigate. We only need to go for a few days. The golden-robed elder said. Chen Shang looked at the man who had just eaten a Wazundan, and said, he ate one of my Wazundan, according to the price I'm selling, you guys need to give us 20 billion. You gave it to him voluntarily. What does that have to do with us? If you really want 20 billion Dao crystal, you can ask him for them yourself. The gold-robed elder laughed, even though he is my son, I am not responsible for the Dao crystal that he owes me. Hearing that, the man laughed out loud. Do you really expect me to spit out what I've eaten? You gave it to me by an idiot, and you still want me to give it back to you. Just eat shit. Quote. I don't expect you to spit it out. I don't want you to return it to me. I only want your life. Saying that, Chen Shang opened his 5 fingers, releasing a burst of heavenly alchemy immortal power. A huge golden claw print appeared, grabbing towards the man. Swish. The man was grabbed by the upper half of his body. When the 5 golden claw images flashed by, they were like 5 sharp blades that cut the man into several pieces. All of this happened very suddenly, and its speed was also unbelievably fast. Although the old man in gold was from Venerable Ancestor later stage, and was right beside the man, but all of this happened too fast, and he could not stop it at all. Only the dead have no need to pay back the debts they owe. After Chen Shang killed the golden-robed elder's son, he spoke in a calm and composed manner. At the same time, Everyone realized that Lin Jishan, who was tied to the stage just a moment ago, had disappeared. There were also a few more people on the stage. Little Bat, Flying Dragon Palace leader and Great Elder had already arrived at the stage. You, who exactly are you, to actually have such a terrifying heavenly alchemy immortal power? After the old man recovered from his shock and looked at his dead son, he was so angry that his entire body trembled. You're a dead man, why are you asking so much? As Chen Shang spoke, Flying Dragon Palace leader and Little Bat attacked the golden-robed elder from both sides. When everyone saw this, they immediately scattered like birds and beasts, leaving this place that was about to erupt with a fierce battle. Chapter 2913. Chen Shang had saved Lin Jishan, so he could go and fight without worry now. Although the current's hall master was a little weaker than when he was at his peak, he was still extremely frightening. The Little Bat is also from the Venerable Ancestor later stage, but compared to the Flying Dragon Palace leader, he is far weaker. The golden-robed elder was a Venerable Ancestor later stage in the art of alchemy, his battle power could only be considered average. After he was attacked by the Flying Dragon Palace leader and the Little Bat, he quickly discovered that the other party's strength was extremely strong. He immediately escaped into the air, and then released a ball of golden light in the air, as if sending some kind of signal. His companions will be back soon. Chen Shang sent a sound transmission to Flying Dragon Palace leader and Little Bat, then teleported behind an old man from the Zhao clan, waving his sword to kill him. Facing Chen Zhang's sneak attack, the old man from the early stage of the Venerable Ancestor realm could not even take a single blow. The powerful late-stage ancestor of the Zhao clan was already in the vicinity with the demonic dragons, the golden-robed elder had already given the signal, they could quickly catch up. Flying Dragon Palace leader's strength and the attack of the Little Bat were both very fierce. With the two of them working together, they quickly caught the golden-robed elder. The golden-robed elder did not expect the person behind Lin Jishan to be so powerful, especially the power of the Flying Dragon Palace leader. He could not imagine which other human within the Flying Dragon Pagoda was so terrifying. He did not know that the Flying Dragon Palace leader was still alive. He had never seen the Flying Dragon Palace leader before, so he could not think of who it was. It seems like you are one of the stronger alchemists. Chen Shang chuckled. Alchemists of the Venerable Ancestor later stage are extremely precious to Zhao clan, what a pity. Our Zhao clan's reinforcements will arrive soon. You better let us go. Our Zhao clan is different from the past, behind us, there is the powerful dragon god high priest as our backup, you are fighting against the dragon demons. The golden-robed elder did not expect that a Venerable Ancestor later stage like his would be caught and pressed to the ground. His body was being continuously injected with streams of power by the Flying Dragon Palace leader, suppressing his explosive power, causing him to be unable to move at all. So what if I want to fight against the dragon? Chen Shang grabbed the old man's hair and pulled his head up. Then, he slapped his face dozens of times, causing his entire face to deform. Kill him, Flying Dragon Palace leader said, there are a few powerful auras approaching. Chen Shang took out the demonic dragon beast, then, he nodded towards Flying Dragon Palace leader, who then smashed his head against the golden-robed elder's head. The gold-robed elder was immediately shocked and shouted frantically. Chen Shang and the others actually wanted to kill him. You won't have a good ending. The golden-robed elder continued to scream. The one who will not end up well is you. Go and die. Then, a touch of golden light leaked out of his palm and poured into the golden-robed elder's head. Boom. The golden-robed elder's body trembled, the divine sense sea collapsed, and then erupted with a terrifying power. Chen Shang immediately kept the corpse back into the rat emperor beads and fed it to the heaven-devouring rat. Just as Chen Shang and the others finished off the gold-robed elder, two elders and two middle-aged men in black armor flew over and landed in front of Chen Shang and the others. At this time, there were still many people watching from afar. With the sudden arrival of these four people, everyone's hearts were filled with fear, and then they all retreated far away. At this time, they had already retreated outside the city walls, floating in the air as they looked at the plaza in the middle of Great Zhao City. Out of the four people who had just arrived, two of the old men were the extremely powerful Venerable Ancestor later stage from the Zhao clan, while the other two were famous generals from the demonic dragon clan, whose strength was much more terrifying than the two old men from the Zhao clan. At this moment, the Flying Dragon Palace leader was also feeling pressured. If he was going to fight against one, he did not feel pressured, but if he and the Little Bat were to team up, they would need to fight against four Venerable Ancestor later stages that were as strong as they were. Although Chen Shang was strong, he was only at the early stage of the Venerable Ancestor realm, so dealing with early or middle stage opponents should not be a problem for him. However, Chen Shang was not able to deal with the powerful Venerable Ancestor later stage at the moment. Chen Shang also knew that the current situation was not good for them. They could have easily escaped, but he did not want to flee, because this was an opportunity to weaken the Zhao clan and the High Priest's strength. He immediately conversed with Long Qiumu from the Yuyao Mountain Villa for a while and Long Qiumu agreed to come out to fight. However, Chen Shang did not let her come out immediately. Wait for a chance. When I tell you to come out, come out. When that time comes, I will cooperate with you and let you complete your sneak attack. Chen Shang said. Then he sent a sound transmission to the Flying Dragon Palace leader's little bat, telling them to hang on for a while. Old Gold is dead, a white-robed old man from Zhao clan said. His face was filled with anger as he looked at Chen Shang and the others. It was you who killed old Jin, right? Is that the old man in golden robes? After all, your Zhao clan asked for it. Not only did you kidnap my friends, you even slander my friends and me for stealing your Zhao clan's pill formulas. How shameless are you? Chen Shang said. Chen Zhang's words made the two elders of the Zhao clan extremely angry. Without a word, they released their aura and rushed over. The two black-armored dragon devils attacked from the side, cooperating with their attacks and rushed up. In an instant, the four of them released a few violent energy waves, striking out with black and white balls of air, enveloping Chen Shang and the rest. Flying Dragon Palace leader and the little bat had already made their moves long ago, waving both of their hands to create a wave of energy to block the incoming berserk energy. When they were fighting, Chen Shang had already teleported behind them and had simultaneously hidden himself. They did not discover Chen Shang. Chen Zhang's invisibility was something even the High Priest could not detect, let alone them. Flying Dragon Palace leader let out a loud roar at this time, and the little bat also let out a blood-curdling shriek, recovering its wound. In the midst of the fierce battle, the entire square was destroyed. Dense sand and dust covered the battlefield, and in the thick smoke and fog, thunder and lightning continued to flash non-stop. The situation was extremely desperate, and many of the ground of the great Zhao city had been torn apart by the fierce battle. After all, he was strong, but the little bat was different. He had just stepped into the Venerable Ancestor later stage not long ago. Chu Mu, get ready. After Chen Shang finished speaking, she immediately released Long Qiumu, who had also been concealed by Chen Shang. When Long Qiumu came out, she was surprised. She did not expect that the battle outside would be so intense. She immediately understood the situation, and without saying a word, she waved her black staff, releasing 4 streaks of white lightning that landed on the bodies of the 2 old men and the 2 black-armored dragon demons. It's White Demon Dao power. A middle-aged man in black armor shouted in shock. Chapter 2914. Chen Shang didn't know what the White Demon Dao energy was, but he did know that the white lightning that Long Qiumu released was extremely terrifying. It instantly blasted a hole through the 4 people's bodies, precisely where their hearts were. The bodies of the Venerable Ancestor later stages disciple and the dragon demon were extremely terrifying. However, with just a casual wave of Long Qiumu's hand, 4 bolts of white lightning struck out, creating a hole in their bodies. It's you, Long Qiumu. A middle-aged man in black armor had already recognized Long Qiumu's strength, but he didn't know where Long Qiumu was. Long Qiumu's appearance had reduced the pressure on Flying Dragon Palace leader and the little bat's body by a lot. Furthermore, the opposing party's heart had been blown open, and their strength had decreased by a lot. Long Qiumu had been invisible and not discovered by Chen Shang, which was beneficial for her sneak attack. Flying Dragon Palace leader and little bat immediately fought back. The situation had reversed, and they were suppressed and even injured by the opponent just now, but now, it was the opponent who was beaten helpless by them. Boom! Long Qiumu suddenly attacked again, releasing a few rays of white lightning, this time landing on the heads of the 4, they were already prepared for the ambush earlier. However, even if they were prepared, being struck down by the white bolt of lightning, they couldn't help but be distracted for an instant. In the moment of their absent-mindedness, the small bat had already quickly pierced the bodies of the 2 dragon demons with its divine trident. Flying Dragon Palace leader did not use any weapon, but the opponent was distracted for a moment. When the 2 palms struck the 2 elders, the dense wyvern Dao energy entered their bodies and exploded inside their bodies, causing their bodies to release crackling sounds. Their body's surface continued to explode, spitting out a ball of blood mist. It was extremely bloody. After the little bats and flying dragon palace leader attacked, Long Chiumu released another wave of white lightning. In the blink of an eye, these four powerful venerable ancestor later stages were beaten up beyond recognition by them, and they fell to the ground while smoking. "We've finally gotten rid of him," the little bat said. He also knew that someone had suddenly attacked just now. On the other hand, the flying dragon palace leader did know that it was Long Chiumu, but the little bat in question did not. "The high priest is here." Flying dragon palace leader suddenly frowned. "This guy is very strong. We are not his match, and they even brought a group of dragon demons over. Then we have to get out of here." Chen Shang knew clearly that their current strength was not enough to fight against the high priest. Chen Shang brought them to teleport and quickly left the heavily damaged Great Zhao City. They returned to the cave where they were hiding. Lin Jishan's injuries were not really that serious. He had only suffered a little physical pain, and there were still a few Wazundan in his hands that had not been sold out. "Looks like we have to be more careful next time we sell Wazundan. Right now, we must be very closely watched," Chen Shang said. He had refined many Wazundan in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. It would not be easy for him to sell them all. "If there's nothing else, I'll be going to the Flying Dragon Experience Place first." Just as Flying Dragon Palace leader wanted to leave, he looked at the little bat and said, "Brat, you are also my Flying Dragon Palaces. If you want to become stronger, follow me. Can we bring old Lin along?" The little bat had joined hands with Flying Dragon Palace leader just now, so it naturally knew just how powerful the Flying Dragon Palace leader was. Sure, Flying Dragon Palace leader knew that they needed a strong helper, and Lin Jishan's potential was not small. Lin Jishan gave the remaining Wazundan and the Dao crystal he had obtained from selling the Wazundan to Chen Shang, then he left this place together with the Flying Dragon Palace. "Next up, we will have to hide for a period of time. Let me handle the matter of selling Wazundan." Chen Shang looked at the great clan elder and Master Wang and laughed helplessly. The Master Wang and the great clan elder did not continue to refine pills, but chose to cultivate instead. They also needed to be strong, and now that they knew of the high priest's plans, if the world-defying dragon demon broke the seal, they could only hide in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. And in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum, there was a need for an even more powerful force in order to survive. Chen Shang was in a hurry to sell all the Wazundan in his hands. Now that the Flying Dragon Pagoda was already controlled by the dragon demon, and because he was surrounded by the dragon demon's spies, it wouldn't be easy for him to sell all those Wazundan. Furthermore, he couldn't work with anyone, nor could he sell it publicly. This was truly a headache. "Oh right, I have a mouse man." Chen Shang suddenly smacked his head and thought of the mouse man. Mouse man was equivalent to his clone. He could make these mouse man bring a single Wazundan and sell them everywhere. Even if they were discovered by the dragon demons, they could quickly escape. If he could not escape, at most he would just be killed. The death of the mouse man would not be a loss to him. He could at least use the dragon beast rat emperor beads to create them. Immediately tried releasing the 10 mouse man-s, separating them into different people. There were elderly, middle-aged, and young. He told the 10 mouse man-s to each bring a few Wazundan to a few cities. The Wazundan was very famous right now, and they were only in the late stage of 6 god stage, hoping to buy this pill. However, after the battle in Great Zhao City, the people who sold Wazundan were wanted by the dragon demons and Zhao clan, and they searched everywhere. When the high priest first arrived at the Great Zhao City, Chen Shang and the others had already left, but the high priest could still feel the aura that Long Chiumu had left behind. If he did not feel Long Chiumu's aura, he would have thought that Long Chiumu was still locked under the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace. So the high priest immediately returned to Flying Dragon Imperial Palace, and he quickly found out, Long Chiumu was not inside. Inside the Flying Dragon Imperial Palace, the high priest held a blood-colored bead and furiously shouted, "Who exactly is it? Not only did he take away my dragon devil grandmother, he even rescued that damned girl Long Chiumu. Every time, my defenses are so tight, but I was still shifted." The high priest was very angry. He might not have done it once, but this was the second time. Right now, he didn't know where Long Chiumu was, but he did know that Long Chiumu was definitely with that person with strong concealment abilities. Furthermore, that person was related to the Wazundan, so the high priest took this matter very seriously. "This high priest sure is. You want to put up a bounty on me with more than 1 billion Dao crystal." Chen Shang found it funny. He was hiding in a cave on the ground and was trying to sell his Wazundan. In just a single day, he had successfully sold 10 of them and earned 200 billion Dao crystal. People of the later stages of 6 God stage yearned for Wazun Dan very much, so they did not care who sold the Wazun Dan, and did not care about the enmity between the seller of the Wazun Dan and Zhao clan and the high priest. Just like this, after Chen Shang sold all the Wazun Dan he had brought with him, the 10 mouse mans were teleported back to him using the power of space, and the Dao crystal was then taken by Chen Shang. Chapter 2915. In the following month, Chen Shang very smoothly sold more than half of the Wazun Dan, and at the moment, his Dao crystal had already reached 30 trillion. There are still some that can be sold off very quickly. After selling it, I will focus on my cultivation to make myself stronger. These days, Chen Shang had controlled the mouse man to peddle the Wazun Dan. Although it attracted the attention of the dragon demons, he was still able to get rid of them. However, today, one of the mouse man he controlled had been captured. The city that the mouse man was in was called Defying City. It was a relatively large city, and the person who caught the mouse man was a disciple of the Zhao clan. Chen Shang controlled the mouse man to sell all the Wazun Dan, and most of them were looking for those late stage 6 God stage S. But this time, he didn't expect that the other party was a disciple of the Zhao clan, so he directly sold some of them. Haha, I've finally caught one. Quickly hand over the Wazun Dan in your hands. This disciple of the Zhao clan was a handsome man who only had the strength of the late stage of the 6 God stage. He looked very young and should only be around 20 years old. Chen Shang controlled the mouse man and asked, "Why should I give it to you? Your Zhao clan is actually so overbearing, and should have been annihilated during the last battle." Quote, HMPH, that's fine, I'll bring you back now. At this time, many people had already gathered around to take a look, and after hearing the words just now, they immediately understood what was going on. A disciple of the Zhao clan caught him selling Wazun Dan in the street. Many people had heard that there were people secretly peddling Wazun Dan. Many people were able to successfully purchase them, and those who bought Wazun Dan were considered to be very lucky people. Regarding the matter of the Wazun Dan, many people did not disagree. They all thought that if the Zhao clan was not so tyrannical, the Wazun Dan would definitely be able to be sold publicly. Those who needed Wazun Dan were easily able to buy them. You think you can take me back? Mouse Man laughed coldly. Mouse Man was extremely powerful, especially after the Rat Emperor beads and the Dragon Devil Grandmother bead merged together. Mouse Man's strength had become even more powerful. I think that's the way you are. What, do you think you can beat me? The disciples of the Zhao clan felt disdain towards the other party just because they thought that he was a small fry. But who knew that just as he finished speaking, Mouse Man's palm suddenly turned furry. It was a huge mouse claw. However, his speed was too slow. Mouse Man's claws had already pierced through his body, leaving behind a few bloody holes on his body, which Mouse Man had pierced through with his claws alone. As everyone realized this, they were shocked and quickly fled. He was afraid that a fierce battle would break out. Humph! The mouse man snorted, transforming into a black light that drilled into the Zhao clan man's body, and started to devour his power. After he finished swallowing, the Zhao clan man's body became dry and shriveled, while the mouse man also turned human, quickly leaving the place. Chen Shang planned to change this old acquaintance's appearance and then continue selling the Wazun Dan at other places. Just when he was about to teleport this mouse man back, he found that he was unable to control the return of the mouse man. What the hell is going on? Chen Shang, who was sitting inside the cave, suddenly opened his eyes and immediately teleported the other mouse man back. The other mouse man could come back, but only that one could not. Someone is attacking the mouse man. Through the mouse man, Chen Shang could sense a trace of energy fluctuations. It was the fluctuations of space. In this flying dragon pagoda, there were very few people who could use the power of space, and if they could, they would be extremely powerful existences. Chen Shang tried a few more times, but realized that he was unable to bring Mouse Man back. What the hell is going on? My power of space has been restricted. Chen Shang felt this was inconceivable. His power of space was not what it was before. He could break through the restrictions, but it had still been restricted. This could only mean that that person's use of the power of space was about the same as his. He immediately had Mouse Man run away, but not long after, he blacked out and was covered by something. Then, through the mouse man, Chen Shang heard someone speaking. What a strange thing, I can feel that there's something controlling it. Hee hee, let's catch it and talk about it when we get back. The man laughed. Who exactly are you people? Why are you capturing my clone? Chen Shang spoke through the mouse man with a very cold and angry tone. Oh, so this is your avatar. Your avatar is truly powerful, capable of devouring the power of others. He knew that the mouse man had devoured the man from the Zhao clan just now, so he was very curious. What does that have to do with you? It's not like I've offended you. Chen Shang said angrily, quickly release my clone, if not don't blame me for being rude. Swallowing someone else's power is not right. I merely cannot bear to watch you do this kind of thing. I am only giving you a bit of punishment. That person said, if you are unwilling, then come find me. Use your great strength to teach me a lesson. This person was a man. Chen Shang didn't dare to be sure of his strength, but he was sure that he wasn't an ordinary fellow. It seems that you are merely a decent fellow. You only took a fancy to my body-splitting technique and wanted to lure me out so that you could obtain it. Chen Shang sneered, just you wait, offending me won't end in a good way. I actually hope that you can come find me quickly. I want to know just how powerful you are, haha. That person's laughter was filled with ridicule, as though he was not afraid of Chen Shang at all. Chen Shang did not immediately teleport. He was worried that if he went over, his opponent's strength would be too strong. Furthermore, he would also know how to use the power of space. His mouse man was locked in the same space and had no contact with the outside world, but Chen Shang could still sense the location of his mouse man. This guy is leaving the city. Chen Shang had to teach this fellow who caught his mouse man a lesson. After the other party left the city, Chen Shang immediately teleported over and hid himself. Soon, he knew that there were 3 people in the distant grass field. All of them were young and handsome men. Although their clothes were different, the patterns on them were all the same, they were all dragon patterns. Chen Shang was shocked. He had seen this kind of dragon tattoo before, in the one that was left behind in the world-defying stage dragon ancestor. Are these guys related to the world-defying stage dragon ancestor? Chen Shang clenched his fists. If they are unwilling to return mouse man to me, even if it has something to do with world-defying stage dragon ancestor, I will definitely not let them off. He immediately flew towards the 3 men. After that, he heard them talking. Third bro, you captured that person's clone. How is it? A red-clothed man asked. Nothing, I don't know if I can lure that guy out. This body-splitting technique is very special and strong, they have a very strong space connection, it can actually break through the space limit. As long as the opponent wants it, the clone can go back. He was number 3. Fortunately, I have a spatial divine artifact. I've cut off the connection between them, and I've restricted the space, so the clone won't be able to return. On top of that, the clone is weak, so I managed to catch it easily. The blue-clothed man laughed proudly. Chapter 2916. Chen Shang thought that this man knew how to use the power of space. She did not expect that he had only borrowed the power of a divine artifact to capture his mouse man. Previously, he was worried that if he were to make a move against this man, he would be entangled by his opponent's spatial force. Now, he could stop worrying. If his opponent were to use a divine artifact, then the consumption would be extremely great. Just as the blue-clothed man was feeling full of himself, Chen Shang suddenly dropped from the sky. With the strength of his palm, he borrowed the impact from the fall and at the same time, fiercely slapped his head. Gotcha! Boom! When Chen Zhang's palm struck the head of the blue-clothed man, a wave of berserk energy exploded, pouring into the blue-clothed man's body. The blue-clothed man immediately screamed miserably, spurted out a mouthful of blood, and the 2 men beside him were also blasted away by Chen Zhang's palm strike. Chen Zhang's palm attack just now was extremely powerful. He had thought that he would be able to kill his opponent with a single palm, but he never thought that his opponent would have a divine artifact protecting their bodies, which allowed them to absorb and resist the majority of the force. It was just that the opponent had spat out a mouthful of blood. Who is it? The blue-clothed man was furious and took out a golden disc. Even though he had suffered a heavy blow from Chen Shang, he didn't receive any serious injuries. It's lousy. Chen Shang did not appear, but the other party could hear his voice. Didn't you say before that you wanted me to come find you? I'm here. If you don't return my avatar to me, don't blame me for being impolite, I was just warning you a little. Quote. He did not expect that Chen Shang would actually come, and so quickly at that, and even sneak attacked him. Just now, Chen Zhang's power had directly poured into his body, straight towards his divine sense and his vitals. If not for the divine equipment on his body blocking the majority of the power, he would have died just now. Chen Shang actually wanted to kill him, this made him extremely angry. You actually want to kill me? The blue-clothed man wildly danced about that disc. The disc shot out streaks of golden light towards the sky, randomly creating. He still did not know where Chen Shang was at this moment. The other two men were also surprised. They had already prepared themselves for battle, but they didn't know where Chen Shang was. I'll give you one more chance, release my clone. Chen Shang said. Ha, I won't give it to you. What can you do to me? The blue-clothed man firmly believed that Chen Shang was unable to do anything to him, because Chen Zhang's heavy blow earlier had not caused him any harm. Chen Shang was slightly angry in his heart, he did not expect this fellow to be so good. Just as he was planning his next move, the blue-clothed man suddenly took out his mouse man. The blue-clothed man took out the mouse man not to return it to Chen Shang, but, instead, he used the golden disc in his hand to illuminate the mouse man. The disc did not know what kind of divine tool it was, but when the golden light shined on Mouse Man's body, it caused the Mouse Man to suddenly turn into a golden liquid and melt. Are you sure? Your avatar has already been killed by me. If you have the guts, then come deal with me. Ha ha, you are a coward, ha ha, ha ha. After the blue-clothed man killed Chen Zhang's Mouse Man, he laughed maniacally with pride. Chen Shang took a small breath and silently took out the Heavenly Alchemy Emperor Seal. The Heavenly Alchemy Seal had already been fused with his own Emperor Seal, and its power was even more terrifying. He rarely used this Heavenly Alchemy Emperor Seal because its power was extremely terrifying. Right now, the angered Chen Shang did not care about all that anymore. He just wanted to quickly eliminate this blue-clothed man below him. Arrogant fellow, you're asking to die. Chen Shang shouted in his heart as his Dharma power surged out, passing through his body and instantly transforming into a terrifying Heavenly Alchemy Immortal power. At the same time, one of the 6 souls' Azure Dragon Holy Spirit also roared and flew out from the Divine Sense Sea. As it passed through his body, an extremely strong Heavenly Alchemy Immortal power was added on, and he entered the Heavenly Alchemy Emperor Seal S. Chen Shang channeled his power into the Heavenly Alchemy Emperor Seal. After a burst of divine seal, a single word appeared on the surface of the seal, refining, and this word was written by an azure dragon. The blue-clothed man and his 2 companions were stunned the moment the word, refinement, appeared. This dragon's might was truly terrifying. They were from the world-defying stage dragon ancestor and were very familiar with dragon's might, but they had never encountered such a terrifying existence. After the word, refine, appeared, the pressure that had been released caused the blue-clothed man to be unable to move. At this time, he felt as if he was tightly grasped by the 5 elemental hands. After the blue-clothed man's protective divine tool felt the terrifying power, it started to move on its own. The word, refined, flashed and turned into a green dragon, with 2 red beams of light shooting out of its eyes. It spat out a green lightning that bombarded the blue-clothed man's body. Then, with a loud sound, the green dragon howler opened its huge mouth, and like a meteorite falling from the sky, its body combusted with cyan-colored lightning energy flames. It crashed into the ground and swallowed the blue-clothed man whole, large mouth, and then, its entire body fell onto the ground with a loud thud. At the same time, the ground began to rise and fall, splitting into pieces. Chen Shang heaved a sigh of relief, and used the power produced by the Heavenly Alchemy Emperor Seal. As he had expected, it was just a flat piece of land, but it had already turned into a hill and ravine everywhere. He didn't die. Chen Shang searched down below and suddenly found the blue-clothed man. The skin on his body had been cut open, and he was missing an arm. His only remaining hand was holding onto a round plate that was split into 2 halves. What a powerful weapon! He actually saved his dog life. Just as Chen Shang was about to fly, he suddenly sensed an extremely powerful qi. The High Priest. How terrifying. No, that's not right. This guy is stronger than the High Priest. Just as Chen Shang had stopped, that person had already appeared, and arrived beside the blue-clothed man. It was an old man wearing a white robe. There were dragon markings on his clothes. Indeed, he was here to save the blue-clothed man. Grand Master, someone is attacking us. That guy is in the vicinity. Quickly kill him. The other 2 men suddenly ran over and shouted. When the blue-clothed man was attacked, the 2 men were nearby. They knew that Chen Zhang's attack was extremely terrifying, so they ran away as fast as they could. The blue-clothed man was locked on by Chen Shang, they simply could not escape. The white-robed old man looked around him and frowned. Originally, he had a head full of white hair, but now that it had suddenly turned black, he looked young in an instant. This caused Chen Shang to be alarmed and feel an indescribable fear. You possess such powerful strength, why did you attack such a junior? The old man also knew that someone was nearby. If those two men didn't remind him, he wouldn't have noticed. Chapter 2917. If he was not agitated by someone, Chen Shang would not even bother to waste his energy to hit him. You think I want to kill him? You should have asked him what he did first, so I didn't bother to do anything to him. Chen Shang said. He still had not appeared, and after he finished speaking, he immediately teleported to another location. The white-robed old man could also feel that Chen Shang was teleporting away. He was very curious about this kind of person. He never thought that there would be such a person in the Flying Dragon Pagoda. All of you, quickly tell me, what is going on? The white-robed old man looked at the two men and asked loudly. His tone was very strict. Yes, it was OL3 who had captured the other person's avatar and sent him to return it. Not only did he not return it, he even melted the avatar right in front of the other person, and then that's it. When the red-clothed man saw the white-robed old man angry, he immediately replied while trembling. That's it, Chen Shang said, but the red-clothed man was not lying. Humph, what a sin. At this moment, the white-robed old man was also furious. He looked at the half-dead blue-clothed man and cursed, "Bring him back, and let your master teach him a lesson." With that, the white-robed old man flew away. They were in the wrong for this, and he did not know the strength of his opponent, so he did not dare to make a move. Seeing that the other party had left, Chen Shang secretly heaved a sigh of relief. The people of the world-defying stage dragon ancestor are actually this powerful. Is the world-defying stage dragon ancestor coming back to settle the world-defying dragon demon's problem? Chen Shang was only guessing. He returned to the cave and continued to control his mouse man to sell Wazundan. After a few months, he finally sold all of the Wazundan in his hands. Although there were so many Dao crystal, Chen Shang did not know if there were enough, but he was still a little worried. Forget it, I can only go in and take a look now. Chen Shang planned to head to Myriad Dao Mausoleum now to search for the mysterious array. With a teleportation, he left Flying Dragon Pagoda, and arrived in front of Myriad Dao Mausoleum's Gate of Heaven and Earth. It's him. When Chen Shang arrived, he saw the white-robed old man. He stood in front of the door of Heaven and Earth, not moving an inch, and it was unknown what he was doing. When Chen Shang teleported over, the old man noticed a slight movement in space. It's you. He did not see Chen Shang, but he knew that he had met him a few months ago. Chen Shang appeared. He slowly descended to the ground and maintained a distance from the white-robed old man as he said, "Do you want to enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum? As soon as the Gate of Heaven and Earth is opened, I will immediately go in. What about you?" The white-robed old man turned around and asked Chen Shang when he saw him. He never thought that Chen Shang would have such a young appearance. People who have such a young appearance usually cultivate very quickly. I can go in any time. Chen Shang laughed. Do you want me to bring you along and let you enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum immediately? He himself could also use the power of space, but he could not enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. This meant that Chen Zhang's use of the power of space was much stronger than his. In terms of strength, Chen Shang was far inferior to him. Do you go in often? The white-robed old man asked. I went in a few times. Chen Shang walked a little closer and said, What are you going in for? To find someone. After the white-robed old man finished speaking, he let out a long sigh and turned around to look at the Gate of Heaven and Earth. To whom? You are very strong, much stronger than that high priest. Chen Shang said. At this point, he was already in front of the old man, and could clearly feel his strength. Even if I told you, you wouldn't recognize me. The old man in white shook his head. I am not much stronger than the high priest. The high priest is immortal, I can't kill him, but he has endless power of the dragon and demons. Although I won't lose to him in a short period of time, once I run out of energy, I will die. Chen Shang didn't know much about the high priest. Although Long Chiumu was a dragon devil princess, she knew very little about the high priest as well. And yet, this mysterious white-robed elder knew so much about the high priest. Clearly, he must have fought with the high priest before. You fought against him? Chen Shang asked. The white-robed cultivator nodded his head. I cannot defeat him. Unless he is destroyed by the master, it would be very difficult to eliminate him. Even if we can kill him, the other high priest will be born soon. So that means, you entered the Myriad Dao Mausoleum to find the world-defying stage dragon ancestor. Chen Shang had already guessed that the reason the high priest was so hard to kill must be because of the world-defying dragon demon supporting him. To exterminate the high priest, he had to restrain the world-defying dragon demon. When the white-robed old man heard Chen Zhang's words, he was very surprised. He did not expect Chen Shang to actually know about the world-defying stage dragon ancestor and the world-defying dragon demon. That's right, the dragon ancestor is inside, but it's just that I don't know where he's at in Myriad Dao Mausoleum either. The old man in white sighed, we can only go in. How did you know? I once obtained a bit of memories left behind by the world-defying stage dragon ancestor, so I know a bit. Chen Shang laughed, even though we had a misunderstanding, I am not your enemy, furthermore, we have a common enemy. If possible, I will help you find the world-defying stage dragon ancestor. Alright, can you bring me in now? The white-robed old man smiled at Chen Shang. Chen Shang patted the white-robed old man's shoulder, and then used teleportation to bring him in, walking into the wide passage inside Divine Ghost Imperial Country. What's your name? You should be around the middle stage Venerable Ancestor realm. But the power of space is being used to such an extent, this is truly admirable. The white-robed old man asked. Chen Shang, how about you, senior? Quote, Long Tengyun, world-defying stage dragon ancestor can be considered my ancestor. I saw him once when I was very young. Long Tengyun said, at that time, when he left our secret realm, he said he was going to the Myriad Dao Mausoleum and he hasn't returned since. Why is he going to the Myriad Dao Mausoleum? Did he say anything? Chen Shang never thought that the world-defying stage dragon ancestor would actually be inside the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. He said he was going to stay with his old friend. We don't know who his old friend is. Long Tengyun was very suspicious about this. He does have many friends, but many of the elders in our clan do not know who he is going to accompany, nor do they know who is in Myriad Dao Mausoleum. Chen Shang immediately thought of a person. There was only one old friend in the world-defying stage dragon ancestor that could make him enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum to accompany her, and that was the world-defying stage Dao ancestor. In the world-defying stage dragon ancestor's memories, the world-defying stage Dao ancestor was his master, but he had always treated him as his best friend. In other words, the world-defying stage Dao ancestor was also inside the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. This kind of person was actually in the mausoleum that he had constructed. Chen Shang could not help but suspect that this mausoleum was probably built for him by the world-defying stage Dao ancestor. Chapter 2918. Chen Shang thought about it, and decided to tell Long Tengyun about this matter in the end. World-defying stage Dao ancestor. I have never heard of him. Long Tengyun said, does our ancestor really have an old friend? We don't know. Quote. Then what other friends does your ancestor have? Chen Shang was very surprised. He felt that the world-defying stage Dao ancestor should be very famous, especially someone like Long Tengyun. His friends are all beast-type friends. Phoenix, Green Ox, you should not know. Long Tengyun frowned. Just what is the background of this world-defying stage Dao ancestor? Do you know? Quote. I just know a little, I'll tell you what I don't know. After that, Chen Shang told Long Tengyun about the world-defying stage Dao ancestor. He did not tell him that the world-defying stage dragon ancestor was once the world-defying stage Dao ancestor's tamed beast and was worried that Long Tengyun would not accept it. If it's true, then this world-defying stage Dao ancestor is too powerful. He actually created the Myriad Dao Divine Arts, and this Myriad Dao Mausoleum was also built by him. Long Tengyun was very surprised. He never knew of such a person, and couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. Long Tengyun and Chen Shang walked along the wide passageway, and their voices were not small as well. The echoes produced by their words echoed back to their surroundings. However, at this moment, a voice suddenly rang out. Is the world-defying stage Dao ancestor really in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum? This sudden voice gave Chen Shang and Long Tengyun a huge fright. They immediately became vigilant. Who are you? Chen Shang asked anxiously. This was the Myriad Dao Mausoleum, they had to be vigilant. Although Long Tengyun was strong, he still felt a sense of danger that could threaten him was approaching. He was right beside Chen Shang, and the aura of power he was releasing right now made Chen Shang feel fear. Long Tengyun was actually ready to fight to the death. Chen Shang suddenly felt a lot of pressure. He did not know what kind of person his opponent was. A mass of black fog suddenly appeared on one of the walls, and then a person walked out from it. It was a handsome man wearing a gorgeous black robe. He had a crown on his head and looked very noble. This is my territory. The man smiled. Ghost Emperor, Chen Shang said in shock. That's right, the divine Ghost Imperial country's Ghost Emperor is me. You don't have to be afraid, I'm not like the other fellows here who like to kill innocent people. The Ghost Emperor laughed, you guys are pretty powerful. The gate of heaven and earth has yet to be opened, but you can actually enter. Chen Shang had already entered and out a few times already, but the Ghost Emperor did not appear. This time, when he entered with Long Tenyan, he actually lured the Ghost Emperor out. This period of time should have been very quiet. It would be hard for the two of you to not be noticed while walking here and making a racket. The Ghost Emperor laughed, I am very interested in your words and also very curious, so I couldn't help but casually ask. Since you heard our conversation, then you probably know. World-defying stage Dao ancestor being here is just my guess. Chen Shang said. The Ghost Emperor nodded his head, we have been here for many years, but we have never seen the world-defying stage Dao ancestor, so we can't be sure. If I am sure that the world-defying stage dragon ancestor is inside, then I think it is not too far away. Quote. The Ghost Emperor looked at Long Tenyan and said, you should be able to confirm that, right? I can only tell you this. That was what the dragon ancestor said when he left, but I can't be sure whether he came here or not. Long Tenyan said. Chen Shang also felt curious and laughed, Ghost Emperor, you care so much about world-defying stage Dao ancestor, could it be that he is your old enemy? He was the one who locked me up here. What do you think? The Ghost Emperor laughed, but I don't hate him, I just want to find him and chat with him about the past. After all, I'm living quite well here, and he even sent a lot of my sworn enemies to accompany me. The Ghost Emperor and the world-defying stage Dao ancestor had such a relationship, the Ghost Emperor's identity became even more mysterious. However, this matter must not be known to the other people. They wish they could eat the entire world-defying stage Dao ancestor alive. The Ghost Emperor lowered his voice and said, if you are looking for the world-defying stage Dao ancestor, what direction do you have? Why don't we discuss it properly? I am more familiar with the Myriad Dao Mausoleum now. Quote. All right. Chen Shang and Long Tenyan both nodded. The Ghost Emperor waved his hand towards a wall, causing a black curtain to appear on the wall. Please. After that, Chen Shang and Long Tenyan stepped onto the wall and entered into a magnificent hall. Long Tenyan's strength should be at the peak of respect for his ancestors, even if he was not a match for the Ghost Emperor, but he was definitely not far off, so Chen Shang was not too worried that the Ghost Emperor had any tricks up his sleeves. Chen Shang, did you gain anything from entering the Myriad Dao's divine steel that day? The Ghost Emperor suddenly asked. Previously, Chen Shang and Long Tenyan had said his name when they were talking, but the Ghost Emperor had heard it. It's nothing, I managed to cultivate the Myriad Dao's golden body inside, and I just got some good stuff, furthermore, my understanding of the heavenly alchemy has deepened. Chen Shang said with a smile, he would never tell this Ghost Emperor Myriad Dao technique. Really? The Ghost Emperor laughed, from his expression, one could tell that he did not believe Chen Zhang's words at all. Chen Shang only smiled without speaking a word, the Ghost Emperor could understand him too. I thought you had died inside. I didn't think I would see you again 10,000 years later. Your strength is still so strong. The Ghost Emperor praised. I've only been inside for over a year. The time inside is very different from the time outside. Chen Shang laughed bitterly. Then that's even more amazing. It hasn't been too long, yet you've become so strong. The Ghost Emperor was even more surprised, and was even more sure that Chen Shang had gotten something good from inside. Only now did Long Tenyan know how powerful Chen Shang was. He knew about the Ghost Emperor's matter, and his clan was relatively more knowledgeable about the Myriad Dao Mausoleum's forces. But now, this Ghost Emperor actually admired Chen Shang to such an extent, which showed how capable Chen Shang was. Ghost Emperor, can I ask you something? But there is something about the natural law Divine Lord, can you beat this guy? Chen Shang asked. If the natural law Divine Lord was not eliminated, he would only feel uneasy. Of course I know, I've fought with this guy before. I can defeat him, but it will not be easy to wipe him out completely. The Ghost Emperor frowned. I don't know why, but this guy is getting stronger and stronger. I heard that he secretly formed a gang, wanting to kill the Bone Emperor of White Bones Imperial and become the new Bone Emperor. Quote. Really? Chen Zhang's heart suddenly sunk. He had forgotten one thing, while he was becoming stronger, his enemies were also becoming stronger. It's just a rumor. Because he has a pretty good relationship with the Bone Emperor, when he heard that the Purple Blood clan had insulted the Bone Emperor, he immediately personally went to the Purple Blood clan and fought a great battle with them. He almost killed the Patriarch. The Ghost Emperor said, that's why the rumors are unreliable. Chapter 2919. The Ghost Emperor could be said to be one of the first people to enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. When he first entered, his strength was already very strong. Right now, the Ghost Emperor was telling Chen Shang, if the world-defying stage Dao ancestor was really here, it was very likely that they were in a certain region. Will it be in Flying Dragon Ghost Realm? Is this true? That place must be very dangerous. When Chen Shang heard the Ghost Emperor's analysis, he could not believe it. Although Flying Dragon Ghost Realm brought the word Flying Dragon and there was even a dragon inside, it was obviously not a good thing that Flying Dragon Ghost Realm was willing to accept. Therefore, Chen Shang did not believe that the world-defying stage Dao ancestor would be inside. First of all, the creator of the Flying Dragon Ghost Realm has a great relationship with the world-defying stage dragon ancestor, which is why he used the name Flying Dragon. The Ghost Emperor looked at Long Tengyun and asked, you should be clear about this matter as well. That's right, Flying Dragon Ghost Realm's Wyvern Emperor is indeed one of world-defying stage dragon ancestor's disciples, but because this guy is too evil, after he was brought in by world-defying stage dragon ancestor, he could no longer get out. Long Tengyun said, this Myriad Dao Mausoleum has always restricted those with great strength, but their hearts are filled with darkness. Chen Shang coughed dryly, because the Ghost Emperor was also someone who could not come out after entering, and after Long Tengyun realized it, he felt a little awkward. The Ghost Emperor did not care, and laughed, it's fine, you are right. The reason I can't go out is because I have evil in my heart, but it's much better now. I think I can go out, but I don't dare. Then are we really going to the Flying Dragon Ghost Realm to look for the world-defying stage Dao ancestor now? Ghost Emperor, do you have any clues? Flying Dragon Ghost Realm is so big, you can't possibly go search aimlessly, so how long will it take to find it? Chen Shang said, he also wanted to find world-defying stage Dao ancestor and let him suppress the world-defying dragon demon that was about to revive. I don't know, that was just my guess. Myriad Dao Mausoleum is vast, it will not be easy to find them. The Ghost Emperor sighed, but you can rest assured that I will also send people to investigate. You guys come here regularly and ask me. If you have any good news, you will be able to find out in time. This was the only thing that could be done now. Long Tengyun did not say anything. Oh yeah, I heard that there is some mysterious array inside the Myriad Dao Mausoleum, we can activate it with a large number of Dao crystal. Chen Shang suddenly said, the Ghost Emperor must have known about this, the Ghost Emperor was just collecting Dao crystal. It's true, did you come here for this as well? The Ghost Emperor laughed, but you might be disappointed, although there are many of these mysterious formations, but they are not everywhere, and you have to find them yourself slowly. Even if you find them, you will need a large number of Dao crystals to activate them. As for what is inside, I don't know. Chen Shang and Long Tengyun did not stay long at the Ghost Emperor's place, and went to Colorful Forest. Previously, Chen Shang was unable to use his spatial energy in the Colorful Forest, but now he could. After entering, Long Tengyun suddenly said, the Ghost Emperor is very cunning, I guess he knows the location of the world-defying stage Dao ancestor, it's just that he isn't willing to tell us. Senior, why do you think that? Chen Shang also felt that the Ghost Emperor was a little strange. This fellow is like this in the first place. If the Myriad Dao Mausoleum was built by the world-defying stage Dao ancestor, then the world-defying stage Dao ancestor is still here. He might already be dead. Long Tengyun coldly snorted. He's plotting against the world-defying stage Dao ancestor. If such an existence really dies, the things left behind can be imagined, how can he let others have them all? Also, when you asked him about those mysterious formations earlier, he clearly knew about it. However, he did not tell you in detail and even lied to you. I think he was worried that you would take away too much of the benefits, so he did not tell you. Chen Shang felt it was strange. How could he, the Ghost Emperor, not know about the mysterious array formation inside? I just didn't want to tell him. You can't get too close to him in the future. The people who are locked in this Myriad Dao Mausoleum are all bad people. Chen Shang said. Long Tengyun's strength had already reached its peak, and would be equally matched with the Ghost Emperor. If they were to fight, it was hard to say who would win and who would lose. After Chen Shang and Long Tengyun entered the colorful forest, they had been very calm the entire way. Long Tengyun had decided to go to a rather dangerous place in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. That place was called Dead Land. When Chen Shang and Long Tengyun traveled, although they did not have time to enjoy the beautiful scenery of the place, they still enjoyed the tranquility that caused one's heart to be at peace. However, this calm was quickly broken. Chen Shang first sensed that something was approaching them, and the spatial sensing domain he used was extremely sharp. As long as something entered his perception domain, he could immediately sense it. There are more than 10 guys approaching us. They're fast. Chen Zhang's spatial realm could only sense what was moving within his domain, it could only tell the shape and size of that thing. From his spatial domain, he could tell that the shape was the same as a human's. As for the strength, he couldn't even sense it. What is it? Is it the blood race? Long Tengyun asked. He immediately held his breath, and said, "We were extremely careful along the way, and was actually followed." What's going on? Long Tengyun was very confident in his concealment abilities, and Chen Shang was not weak either, but he was still tracked. He immediately thought of something and frowned. Could it be that the Ghost Emperor had arranged for people to follow us? Chen Shang hurried over to Long Tengyun's side and pressed a hand on Long Tengyun's shoulder. Then, he used the counter power to hide himself together with Long Tengyun and teleported to a large tree. Beneath the big tree they were at, there were over 10 people dressed in light green clothes. None of them looked weak, as they were all in the early stage of the Taizun realm. And judging from their characteristics, they were extremely good at concealment and tracking. If Chen Shang didn't have the ability to use the spatial power, he wouldn't have been able to discover this group of people. It's a dragon demon. Long Tengyun sent 2 sound transmissions to Chen Shang. At this moment, he was even more confused. They were actually being targeted by the dragon demons. It must be the Ghost Emperor who exposed himself to these dragon demons. Long Tengyun sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang. The Ghost Emperor might have already been cooperating with the dragon demons. This is trouble. Let the world-defying dragon demon know that the world-defying stage Dao ancestor is inside this Myriad Dao mausoleum. Chen Shang did not expect the Ghost Emperor to be so cunning, and this made him angry secretly in his heart. He was not easily tricked by others, but now, he was tricked. Chen Shang thought in his heart. Chapter 2920. Chen Shang looked down at the 10-odd dragon demons, his heart also filled with shock. There were so many dragon demons in Myriad Dao Mausoleum, and all of them were powerful. He couldn't help but suspect that the demonic dragon had already formed a hidden force in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. Although it didn't fight with the other great forces in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum, but it had developed in the darkness, and seemed to have a good relationship with other great powers. They should be here to kill me, Chen Shang said, but they do not know of your existence, and do not know how strong you are. If not, they would not have sent these dragon demons to their deaths. Long Tengyun nodded his head. This batch of dragon demons is very outstanding, their concealing skills are very high, and they are extremely good at assassinations, but they were still sent here. Ming-Gui Emperor did not tell the dragon demons about my strength. Ghost Emperor, this bastard, could it be that he wants you to kill this batch of dragon demons? This way, he'll be able to make the dragon demons inside furious. In the end, you and the dragon demons fight. Chen Shang guessed the Ghost Emperor's purpose. It should be so. The Ghost Emperor told the dragon demons where we are. He must have obtained a lot of benefits. Now that the dragon demons are in the Flying Dragon Pagoda, I think the Ghost Emperor must have obtained a large number of Dao crystal from them. Long Tengyun took out a very short sword. After throwing out the dagger, it flashed and became more than 10 beams of golden light. If one looked carefully, these 10 beams of golden light were all dragons of more than 10 strands. This, long, wind, the dragons flew out and instantly drilled into the heads of the 10 or so dragon demons. They all held their heads as they frantically rolled on the ground. Chen Shang watched with wide eyes. His hands were very powerful, dealing with more than 10 dragon demons at the early stage of Venerable Ancestor realm so easily. Just as Chen Shang wanted to go down and kill these dragon demons, he saw that their bodies had suddenly swelled up. After the demonic dragon's body swelled up, it suddenly exploded and died. These lackeys are just here to die. Long Tengyun waved his hand, and the powerful dagger appeared in his grasp. So powerful, Chen Shang could not help but exclaim. Long Tengyun said, the power of the dragon demons in here should have been developed by the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable. It was all thanks to the world-defying dragon demon that he was able to remove the seal. It is possible that he entered the Myriad Dao Mausoleum to help the world-defying dragon demon inspect the situation inside. Quote, Chen Shang had guessed before that the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable was a very important existence in the Flying Dragon Ghost realm, as they wielded a lot of power and influence. It was unknown whether or not the entire Flying Dragon Ghost realm was already under the control of the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable. We need to quickly go to the Dead Land. We need to find the both of them quickly. If world-defying Dragon Demon truly resurrects, the consequences would be unimaginable for us. Only the ancestors of two world-defying stage can take care of him. Long Tenyan had already seen through the trap the world-defying Dragon Demon had laid down long ago. Chen Shang nodded. Where do you want to go, Dead Land? I'll use the power of space to teleport. Quote. Long Tenyan told Chen Shang a direction, and then, Chen Shang brought him continuously teleported. A few moments later, they arrived at the so-called Dead Land. It should be here. Long Tenyan stood on top of a tall mountain, and looked at the pitch-black forest in front of him. There were many large mountains in front, but all of them were black, without any plants. Chen Shang even saw a very wide plain, which was also completely covered with black soil without any signs of life. It's very similar to White Bones Imperial. Said. This was the same as the White Bones Imperial, it was filled with death aura, but the White Bones Imperial had bones everywhere, and there were no bones here. If the Dead Land wasn't that dangerous, he would have been taken over by the White Bones Imperial a long time ago. Usually no one dares to come in, so you can't even see the bones. Long Tenyan sighed, if we enter, it will be dangerous. Chen Shang, you better not enter. Although you are doing well in all aspects, I am still worried. Quote. Although the sun was shining brightly, there was black soil everywhere. Just a glance at it would cause chills to run down one's spine. Alright, senior, you go in yourself. Chen Shang took out a communication jade symbol paper and said, if we're close, we can pass a message to me through this. Alright. After Long Tenyan received it, he stared at it and said, you should be more vigilant in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. It seems like the several powers in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum are all related to the Dragon Demon, and you are now the #1 enemy of the Dragon Demon. I understand, senior, you have to be careful too. Chen Shang smiled at Long Tenyan. Long Tenyan then flew into the Dead Land, and after Chen Shang saw his back disappearing, he immediately teleported out of the place. Although he was curious about the Dead Land, he was more afraid, which was why he did not go in. And he still had other things to do in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. He had originally entered the Myriad Dao Mausoleum to search for that mysterious array. He had entered with several tens of billions of Dao crystal in his possession just to see what was hidden within the mysterious array. The Ghost Emperor had told him that the mysterious array formation inside was extremely hard to find, but Chen Shang did not believe it. Seems like I can only go to Divine Ghost Imperial Country to try my luck. Chen Shang then quietly returned to the Divine Ghost Imperial Country, to look for his old friend the Time Ghost. Although Time Ghost was a subordinate of the Ghost Emperor, he didn't seem to care about other things. He only wanted the Dao Crystal. Chen Shang did not come to find him to buy time. Time Ghost, even though I'm not here to buy time from you, I'm still here to do business with you. Chen Shang laughed. He was disappointed that Time Ghost was not here to buy time just now. What deal? Time Ghost was someone who had opened his eyes when seeing money, and immediately asked after knowing that he still had some left to earn. There are so many of these rooms here, and they all have weird ghosts like you, right? Chen Shang asked. Yes, do you want to do business with them? Time Ghost suddenly understood Chen Zhang's intention. I want to find a guy who knows a lot of things. If you tell me where I can find this guy, I'll give you 100 billion Dao crystal. Chen Shang said, isn't this easy to earn? 100 billion Dao crystal wasn't really a lot to Time Ghost, after all, he had earned over 2 trillion from Chen Shang. Actually, even if you don't give me the Dao crystal, I will still tell you. However, since you're so passionate, then I won't be polite. Time Ghost snickered. Chen Shang secretly cursed in his heart. After giving Time Ghost 100 billion Dao crystal, he said, you can tell me now. I know a guy named Well-Informed Ghost. He is well-informed, and as for why he is so well-informed, I don't know either, but if you want to know more, he will definitely tell you. Of course, you have to prepare enough Dao crystal. Time Ghost said, and then told Chen Shang the location of the Well-Informed Ghost.